Madangani, Manga radio for but.
I am live now, so I am going.
Muntata for more million jama wala linyim pingota coronavirus musasa sotoringansi andung amala nyimu keleti wala nyimu musuleti amal sibo nyoto mo wini jama fata findu banko kan wala linyim sasa soto andung ayi fale coronavirus man jaral soto bari fanan akibar bima mumunti ay pingu soto le Guluje yimbe ka hore leydi woni ko yettindu pikiri coronavirus non ko gonga anda bale anda dani anda paykun anda mawdo wari africans be boy ka hore leydi sabu non ala lekki ono kibaruji welde di woni ndu hebi haray pikiro bayna fo nyetti o vaccine jol ko kala yoreno teddindi labi ko dum non ko fewno coronavirus no wodi o nyawono.
If you want to receive monies from UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world, Supersonic's money transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are, from Kartong to Koina, with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast, and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonic's money transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to another edition of the ShowBiz in Focus. Tonight, we have two important guests for you. Masta Touray, you already know him. He has been here on board for quite a lot of time. He is now venturing to becoming an artist. But I want you to understand to the fact that Master Lion is a seasoned promoter out of the Gambia, and he is residing in Finland. So, Master Lion, welcome to the show.
One honor, respect, Kalilu. Thanks for having me again. And greetings to all the viewers out there, wherever you are being listen to this great interview, or people who are going to watch it later on. I greet all of you once again.
Thank you. I'm very much excited to have you once again on a
very
important topic, which is performance visa process for creative actors in the Gambia. Like you already know, there is a lot of talking around, some of the processes that are happening in the Gambia with regards to visa applications and, cultural actors being rejected for visas. And
exactly,
we think it is very necessary for us to talk about this topic and to learn lesson out of it. So that is the reason why I get two important guests here tonight with me. Ousman Joof, the CEO of the Gambia Talents TV, will also join us shortly in this program.
Okay.
So, Masta, we are aware of the fact that you were inviting international artists to Finland and at the same time Gambian artists. So we want you to give us a rundown of how you were able to do that, the networking part, the financial part, and also, how you coordinate things.
Yeah, well, this is a very important question. And of course, based on my experience, I'm going to explain how I do my transaction when it comes to visa process for artists when they're coming on a performance in Europe, or specifically in Finland, because I believe every promoter or agent, they might have a different way how they handle the process, but I'm gonna explain based on my experience. So this is a very good question. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, every artist, it depends how they deal with agents or they deal with some promoters or event organizers when coming to Europe, for example, coming from Africa or coming from a country where you need a visa to enter in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it starts in a way when you have an agreement with a promoter or with an agent or event organizers, for example, a festival.
Mm-hmm.
So everything starts from there. So
Mm-hmm.
then you as an artist need to have an agreement with the event organizer or with me, for example. In my case, when I'm setting a tour for an artist,
Mm-hmm.
so we have an agreement, my company, Master and Promotion, and the artist.
Mm-hmm.
So before the contract, we discuss, of course, me and the artist, and we discuss about the project to come in Europe, whether it's a one-time performing performance or is it a tour. So
Mm-hmm.
if it's gonna be a one-time event, like I have an event in Helsinki, and I need you as an artist, I need your service to be part of the lineup. So
Mm-hmm.
we discuss. If you need a visa, then I have to make a agreement with you, I mean the artist,
Mm-hmm.
that you come in to attend my event and the dates, all the details, information will be written in the contract.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have to sign that contract, send it to the artist, also have to sign the contract. And then on my part, I have to make invitation, written invitation letter, which I have to take that invitation letter plus the contract to our magistrate in Finland here
Mm-hmm.
to officialize that paper because they have to stamp it. Where there's a payment that I always have to make that payment. So I pay the stamp to make sure the invitation and the agreement between me and the artist, it is authentic and official.
Okay.
So once I do that paper,
Mm-hmm.
nowadays I handle the insurance, travel insurance for the artist, which I also make it here,
Mm-hmm.
make sure everything is authentic. So the insurance paper, the invitation later for the artist or the band,
Mm-hmm.
also the performance agreement, I have to make that also.
Mm-hmm.
And then if it's a tour, you have to make tour itinerary, which you have to make that also ready.
Mm-hmm.
So print it out, stamp it in the magistrate to make it official. And then if it's a tour, the first, it depends. Some embassy they request the first three shows that the artist is gonna perform in different part of Europe.
Mm-hmm.
So you need three contract from different promoters where the artist is gonna perform. But if it's only one event, for example in Helsinki, that means the event agreement between master and promotion and the artist. That's all the embassy need. But if it's a tour,
Mm-hmm.
then some embassy they need the first three events. So
Okay.
those contracts should be signed by the promoter and me as the tour manager, and then representing the artist, we have to sign that paper. So from Finland here, I have to officialize all these documents, the tour agreement.
Mm-hmm.
There's a separate agreement like a tour between master and promotion and the artist that is different from performance contract.
Mm-hmm.
So after the tour agreement, then we have a event performance agreement
Mm-hmm.
that the artist is gonna perform in these so places.
Mm-hmm.
Even Helsinki, there's an agreement. So after having all these agreements ready, so stamp it in here to make it officialized, and then send it to the artist.
Mm-hmm.
So when the artists already get those papers, already they are officialized, meaning they all has the official stamps from Finland magistrate office where you can see all these papers are stamped in here. So
Mm-hmm.
then the artist will take all those papers plus the artist's own bank statement, and then any other supporting document. For example, if it's artist from Gambia, then you need the arts and culture, their a letter from there to prove that you are a registered member. You need that paper, and also bank statement from the artist's own account,
Mm-hmm.
because embassy always want to see that. So plus any other supporting document.
Okay. So
So
I
you
think
add those with these papers that I provide.
yeah. So I think that is very important. It's a very important start. So you were talking
Mm.
about the work permit that you
Yeah,
secure in Finland, and you
yeah.
also secure what you call insurance. That is travel and health insurance.
Travel travel insurance. Yes.
Okay, so
Mm.
you are also securing what you call a performance agreement, but that is coming from you. But
Yes.
you make sure that you authenticate that document in Finland
Exactly.
through a
Hmm.
lawyer or maybe probably a law firm that will authenticate that okay, this is something realistic between Master Lion Promotion and another artist from Africa or anywhere in the world. So
Yeah.
my question to you,
Hmm.
where do all this start? Like Master Lion, what documentation do you have to be able to that enables you to do all that as
Uh, for ex-
as a promoter, if you can make that
for
clear?
example, in Finland, like I said, every country might operate differently, but here, like Masterline Promotion,
Mm-hmm.
it's a registered company officially.
Mm-hmm.
So once you register that, once I register Masterline Promotion in Finland,
Mm-hmm.
you have a business ID number.
Mm-hmm.
So with that business ID number, of course, anywhere in Finland, once you put your business ID, then they can see the details of the company,
Okay.
the registration and all the taxation and every detail they need to see is already there with the business number. So business registration number always is very important in Finland. So once you are official registered company,
Mm-hmm.
so the law give you some of these rights. Of course, you can invite artists all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
Once you as a, like me, Mastermind Promotion, have I need the service of any artist. So I have to do the negotiation with the artist personally until we agree on something. Like we agree on this event. Yes, the artist is willing to come and do the performance, and then we agree on the price. We agree on the dates, and everything is confirmed between master and promotion and the artist. Then we move to the next level. That means signing an agreement between master and promotion and the artist,
Okay. So
because that's the paper the embassy want to see, the agreement between master and promotion and the artist.
and the artist. So
Yes.
that is very important. We will come to that. But
Hmm.
are you hearing me properly? Because my team is
Yeah.
telling me that I'm not very loud. I don't know. Are you
Yeah.
hearing
You. Yeah. Loud. Yeah. Raise your voice loud a little bit. I
yeah,
can hear you, but not so loud.
so
But of
loud?
course, I'm hearing you.
So
Yes.
are you getting me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
You can hear me properly. Okay. So
Hmm.
we just want you to concentrate a little bit on the business ID, because
Yeah.
the business ID that identify you as a taxpayer, and it also
Hmm.
identify your business as Master Lion Promotion in
Yeah.
Finland, and that gives you the ability to be able to organize musical events. If you can say
Exactly.
something about that, yeah.
Yeah. Of course, if you want to do real business in here, I cannot talk about other countries, but in Finland, if you want to do real business as a promoter, you need to have a registered company, or you have to do the event through another company which is already registered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course, you can organize as an individual person, even you don't have a company, but the tax the tax percentage will be higher than. There's a difference between a registered company and an individual organizing an event, because then there will be a lot of things that you have to. Of course, there's rules and regulations that you have to follow.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
so that is
Mm.
clear. So you need that business registration for you to be able to invite an artist. So
Yes,
how do you secure the work permit? Because that is very important. Because um, we should know to the fact that when inviting an artist or inviting a band, then that means
Mm.
they are working musicians, and they are working
Yeah.
like working musicians. So you need to
Yeah.
secure that work permit. How do you go about securing that work permit?
Like I said, the agreements between the organizing team, like the organizing company,
Mm-hmm.
you need an agreement between, for example, masterline promotion and the artist, for
Mm-hmm.
example, or the band.
Mm-hmm.
So once you have that agreement with the artist,
Mm-hmm.
you have to, like masterline promotion, have to make an invitation for the artist or for the band,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have to make sure there's a travel agent, travel insurance for the artist or the band.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the artist can provide travel insurance, or of course, also is possible. But in my case nowadays, before I used to ask the artists themselves have to do the travel insurance, but nowadays I'm handling that from here. I
Okay.
take care of the once I have the agreement with the artist, I
Mm-hmm.
provide the invitation for the artist or the band. I provide travel insurance for the artist,
Mm-hmm.
and then if it's a tour, I have to make the tour itinerary for
Mm-hmm.
the artist or the band, and
Mm-hmm.
then I have to make the if I'm organizing the tour, I have to make the first three agreement with other promoters booking the artist on a show. So these three contract plus Helsinki contract, then we have four performance contract plus
Okay.
the tour contract.
Mm-hmm.
Then now five contract, tour contract, performing contract. Four of that is five already five. Then the
Okay.
invitation, the travel insurance, tour itinerary, and then all the hotel bookings for all the show, including Helsinki, and these first three events.
Okay.
So these
So
are the main things embassies are very much concerned
so it
for
means
the
that
staff.
prior to the traveling of the band, so you
Yeah,
provide them with all these necessary documents. That is the work permit,
exactly.
the travel
Yes.
and health insurance, the performance
Yeah.
agreement, the two performance agreement, and at the same
Yeah.
time, the invitation. So the invitation is just a support letter that is going
Mm.
to officialize,
You know, yeah, this work permit, in some point, we call it a working visa. If you're coming on a tour or artist, yeah, you don't get that working visa unless and until you provide all these documents that I'm mentioning. So after that, then you have to submit those to the embassy, including the visa form. There's a form that you have to fill at the embassy.
oh,
Nowadays, you can fill the form online, but still you have to take the paper to the embassy. So some embassy you have to fill the form whilst you are at the embassy. Some you can fill the form online
mhm.
and then provide all the papers that is coming from Masterline promotion side, plus the artist's own side. That is the artist bank statement and the artist, for example, government
Yeah,
arts and
I
culture.
think
There's a
Pa Usman will focus on that. He will focus
okay.
on the necessary
Yes.
documentations that the Gambian artists need from Gambia to submit that
Hmm.
to the embassies. So
But
our focus will be greatly with regards to what you do, because you know, a lot of people
but
don't.
remember, I brought artists also from Gambia.
Yeah, I just want to say that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
um,
Exactly.
did we did you invite Gambian artists to Finland before, or let's
Yes.
say Senegalese artists to Finland before?
Yeah. Exactly. Yes, I did. I did actually. I'm sure many people has been following. I did the tour with ENC from Gambia, which I make all these papers, everything
Mhm,
that I'm mentioning. I provide all the papers from here, and then
mhm,
he got the visa, 2 months visa,
mhm. 2 months.
little bit over 2 months, but it's 2 month visa. But he got the visa anyway to come on a European tour, and of course I invite a band from Senegal, which
Mhm,
if I remember correctly, it was a 15-member band, but I think 13 was on the road, and
mhm.
all of them got the visa. Which, of course, I did all the paperwork. So
So
that also, mm,
the application was done in Dakar, but the
Yes,
paperworks were done in Finland by you, Mr. Lion of the Gambia.
yes. For example, the Senegalese ban, I did all the papers like the invitation, the contracts, insurance, and all those papers that's supposed to come from master and promotion. I provide all those papers and then send to the artist. Artists and the management, of course, they are the artist's own papers, and then in Senegal, the registration, artist registration papers, of course, all the supporting document the artists need, they add those to the papers that I provide, and
Okay.
then submit to the embassy.
Okay. So now
Yeah,
we just want to go into the financial investment because
yeah,
it can be a daunting challenge. It can be very
mm,
heavy for a single promoter to be able to do something like this.
yeah,
The example you just cited, which is
mm,
a 13-man band all the way from Senegal, and we know how expensive it is for a band to travel
very.
from Africa to Finland. So
Hmm.
how do you manage to do that? Do you have a network that is supporting you right there in Finland to be able to do
In
some?
terms of financing, you mean?
Yeah.
No, it depends. It depends the agreement you have with the band or with the artist. For example, if it's a band and they're coming on a tour,
Mm-hmm.
me as the tour as the person who organized the tour, I will have an agreement with the band. That
Mm-hmm.
means if they're performing on a different show, which is not my show, of course I will get my own share from that booking.
Okay.
So from that, let's say the artist is performing in Germany or in Swiss or in any other parts different from Helsinki. So
Mm-hmm.
that means that booking master line promotion will have a percentage. So you already have this agreement with the band
Mm-hmm.
before everything start. So now when the tour is going on, as we are getting bookings, so
Mm-hmm.
every bookings master line promotion will have this year. And then
Mm-hmm.
if we go to any other country, the
Yeah.
promoter is responsible for all of us, like the accommodation, the traveling, and then the podium and the
Mm-hmm.
performance fee. Each promoter is responsible for those expenses.
Okay.
But
Uh,
now the question is the financial, the most difficult part when processing this traveling visa is the off days, because
okay.
embassy, I know, because I communicate directly with embassy. Me, when I'm doing the paperwork for artists, I have a direct contact with each embassy which I'm working with or dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Embassies are always concerned about artists off day. For example, if the artist is performing Friday, Saturday, or sometime in weekday like Wednesday or Thursday, but
Mm-hmm.
basically they check like weekends. So if the artist is not performing like Sunday to Thursday, so this every week, like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So you have more off day than the performing day.
Okay.
So now embassies are calculating these 5 days where the artist is gonna stay. If it's a
Mm-hmm.
hotel stay, they
Mm-hmm.
want to know they want to see the hotel booking for all the off days. If you
Okay.
are doing private stay, they want to see the address of where you're gonna stay and how you're gonna take care of yourself in terms of feeding and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
then comes the financial part, because they want to see the account
Mm-hmm.
responsible for the artist in
Mm-hmm.
terms of their feeding, because they want to make sure that the artists don't come to Europe and get stuck in terms of feeding or place to stay. So
Mm-hmm.
this is the main area they are very, very concerned.
So you touch a very important point, and I just want
Yeah.
you to open up that because the moment the embassy understands to the fact that there are days that the artist is not going to perform, so they want to know
Hmm.
the accommodation. They also want to know how the artist is going to feed himself. So if that
Mm.
responsibility is not given to the promoter is not indicating on the application that he is the one responsible to do all that. Don't you think
Yeah.
the embassy will say how they will expect a big a bank statement from the artists?
Not really. What's happened is like this. They always check. That's why embassies are concerned to check the artist performing contract, because
Mm-hmm,
from there, of course, they will see the performing fee. For
mm-hmm,
example, if the artist is performing in Germany, let's say Stuttgart, and the promoter is paying the artist certain amount of money. So that figure will be clearly seen in the performing contract. So embassies are, of course, they can see that performing agree the amount agree with the promoter. Then they do their maths because they know, okay, let's say this promoter X is paying the artist 3,000 for a show or 2,000 for this particular show. So if the artist got three show, the first three show, let's say if each performance is 2,000 euro or 3,000, then they will calculate that if it's 3,000 by 3 is 9,000. If it's 2,000, then it's 6,000. So obviously they can see that the artist already get paid. So he's having like 6,000 in his hand. So he's able to take care of his own accommodation or feeding during these few days, like the off days, because they know when the artist is performing in another city, then the promoters are responsible for the feeding and the traveling and anything that the artists need. But in the off days, then the artist or the tour manager plus the artist, we always have this kind of agreement. How we gonna handle the off days?
Yeah, because I just want to make I just want to make a little bit comparison because an artist can be invited by a promoter, but again, this promoter can tell the artist that you are going to be responsible for your hotel and then your feeding. So that is what I am thinking about. If that is to be indicated in the invitation, and the embassy says, "Oh, but how is this artist going to do that?" So they have to check your economical well-being. The embassy will then try to find out if you can be able to afford that through your earning from where you are coming from.
No, Carl, you know how it goes. There are certain things I feel like, of course, we have to explain here for everybody to understand how everything goes. For other people to understand clearly. For example, if Masterland Promotion is bringing an artist from Gambia, and then, of course, I'm gonna pay you for your performance fee in Helsinki, or the events that you're gonna perform in Helsinki will be like a compensation show. Some artists, they will give, like if I organize the tour, they give you like as a support. You don't have to pay the artist to they perform that one for you free, like a compensation for the extra expenses that you are doing as a tour organizer, right? But other event, like I said, artists is performing in different parts of Europe, there's a payment for that. But now, to the embassy level, Masterland Promotion should put it clearly that my company is responsible for the artist during these off days, which I have to put in writing. So of course they can see that the tour organizer, the person handling the tour, is responsible for the artist expenses like feeding and accommodation during these off days.
Okay. So we understand that. That is very good. So Master, are you really getting me loud and clear? Because a lot of people are writing and saying.
Wait, somebody is trying to call me. Let me put quick message because they always call when I'm in an interview.
Yeah, so sorry for that, my brother. Are you really getting me loud and clear now?
Yeah, for me, I'm hearing you loud and clear on my side.
You are hearing me loud and clear. So I think my people outside are not hearing me loud and clear. But I will try my best because my volume is at 100. That is the least I can do. I don't know what else I can do now. But Master, thank you so much for the rundown with regards to the documentations that people need for them to be able to.
And then I have to clear this area again, Carl, because sometimes it's good as a promoter or tour organizer, road manager, we call it, to make that understanding with the artist or band. Because obviously they need to understand that when the artist is not performing, then the tour organizer need to talk with the artist because they should be able to take care of themselves. In terms of feeding and accommodation, because they get payment for performing in other parts of Europe or other areas, for example, if it's a tour. But if it's a single event like only Helsinki, then I am responsible. Of course, the tour, Masalam promotion will be responsible for your stay in Helsinki, because that one is a only single event.
Okay.
So then I am the promoter. I should make sure the artist, I will take care of the artist accommodation, the podium, and then the performance fee, and so on. That is, and their transportation, like the flight cost. That's all on master and promotion. But if it is a tour which I organize, so artists off day have to discuss with the artists and the management for them to understand beforehand, before even the tour start. So they should be able to take care of themselves in when we have like off days during this time. So nowadays, what some agents are doing, they want to make sure the artist gets money. Everything should be intact, so that when they come here, then there will be no difficulties in this. So some again, they will ask the artist to provide certain amount of money that is going specifically for the off days. That money will be able to handle the accommodation and the feeding. So that if they provide this to the agent or the person handling their tour, so he can be very comfortable that yes, there's a money already which is provided for these expenses. So then some artists, when they once they get the booking for program so they use part of that money to take care of themselves while they are on the road.
Okay.
So it's always a communication or understanding between the tour organizer and the artist and band. You need to discuss this clearly before everything starts, because sometimes some artists and the event organizer or tour organizer have this misunderstanding on the road.
Okay. So that is the reason why you need a band manager and also a tour manager. So how is the relationship? How do between the band manager and the tour manager with regards to providing the technical rider and then also moving from one place to another? Because I think this is a daunting challenge. One of our elder artists have an article on that, and when I read that article, I was like, wow, this is it. And then in his statement, he said it's just like a military operation.
Yes, I know. Salute to the big man. He has a good experience. Yeah, I saw that article some time ago. Well, sometimes I can say most of the time, tour managers are not most of the time on the road. Of course, they sometimes come on the road. I mean, on the road means they are travel with the artist from event to event, from one place to another. But sometimes the tour organizers, tour managers are not always on the road. That means if, for example, master and promotion, I organize a tour with the artist or with a band, I don't have to be on the road, but I'll be here taking care of the bookings and make sure of course, I'm the main man behind the movement. But then the artist manager will be on the road, so he will be handling. He'll be there as the road manager. So he's handling everything that should be done with the promoter. So the artist don't need to do anything. The manager on the road is taking care of all what the artist needs to make sure everything goes as agreed.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why we always have a road manager, tour manager, and the artist manager. So they all have a different role.
Okay. So we just wanted you to give us an experience with regards to bringing African artists and also bringing Jamaican artists, because we are aware of the fact that top Jamaican artists like Morgan Heritage, Grant Morgan, and then Luciano, you name them, they've all passed through your movement.
Exactly.
How do you go about inviting them?
Always it has to be like, if I need Chronics, for example, or Morgan Heritage in Helsinki, I talk to them specifically about my event. For example, if it's Street Reggae Festival, so I contact the artist or the artist manager that I need your artist in Helsinki. I have this event. I have to give them a brief description about the event. This is, then I'm not talking about tour. I'm talking about my event in Helsinki. So then they will discuss with me about the pricing. They will tell me the charges and so on. Then we negotiate until we come to an agreement. Like we agree on a price. So then they will put conditions will be in their agreement, like number of people traveling, what I need to do, blah blah blah. Because they send me a contract and all the technical writers which I have to go through. So I have to read it carefully and make sure if I'm satisfied with the agreement, then I will sign and send it to the artist, and then we take it from there. So that means I agree to bring the band with number of people traveling already they mentioned in the contract. So then once I agree, I have to sign that agreement, send it back to the artist, and then provide their if they need a visa, I have to make the invitation. But sometimes when they are already coming on a tour, that means there's somebody else like an agent who is doing their visa things. So me, I'm only booking them for a show. That time I don't have to do their visa. I'm already buying a service from the artist. So
So
that means I only
meaning like you said before, the
yeah.
initial agent is getting a cut from what you are providing them.
Yes, yes. So, for example, if Chronix is coming on a European tour, already I will see the advertisement online. So then I already saw that he's coming on a European tour from this time. They put the duration. So then if I need Chronix or any other artist coming on European tour in Helsinki, I have to contact either the agent or the artist management. So once you send your request, then they will direct you the person you need to do the booking, whether it's a European agent here or you can do the booking with the artist management. So from that booking, I'm sure the agent, the person bringing the artist in Europe, they will get their share from that booking.
Okay.
But
Okay.
once I agree, I have an agreement with them. I have to take care of their transportation costs, their accommodation, and per diem for Helsinki. So
Okay. So the
yeah,
learning curve is we want to know
Mm.
as Gambians that have you
yeah,
ever facilitated for a Jamaican artist, including their visa application?
yes, I did many times. Many times I did for
So you,
Luciano.
yeah. So elaborate on that. Let us
Yeah,
see how did
I did. I did for Luciano when coming to Helsinki. He was traveling. There were three on the road. I did their visa. We call from roots in our terms. From roots, that means you bring the artist from roots. That means from Jamaica to Europe. That means I'm the one handling all the visa process, everything to make sure the artist is here. So we call that from roots. Yeah,
from
I
root?
did with Luciano. Yeah, with Luciano, and then I contributed a part in Chronics movement in the I think first time coming to Europe. That one is like a collective program
So it was
setting.
like networking
Yes,
as to what
yes.
you
From
say.
my company, I have to provide a document from that. But I did a visa for Version and the crew. I did visa for Ras Modak. I was managing that artist some years ago, Jamaican also. So there are a couple of artists from in Jamaica which they already have like American passport, so they don't need visa in Europe.
Exactly. Yeah,
So
exactly.
those ones you only provide their transportation cost and then the performance fee. Yeah,
Okay.
some of them they don't need visa because they have American passport.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
Master Lion, the Jamaicans will say top sata. So, Mr. can I tell you
Yeah,
top sata? Um,
yeah, man.
what is the relationship between you and the industry players in the Gambia? Do they really recognize the efforts that you have been doing with regards to promoting
uh,
music? Because I will not say Gambian music, I will say promoting music because music is music.
the reality, Carl, I have to tell you, of course, the reality of everything is like Gambians, we don't easily appreciate our own people in regard to the effort they are trying. Me, I am not here to run after anybody to appreciate whatever I'm doing. But I know I always have this slogan: "Let my work speak for me."
Yeah.
I know for sure I have contributed a lot in Gambian music, because so many people are saying that I don't support Gambian artists, I don't do this, I don't do that. So many kind of saying. But I know in terms of music, I also have some experience in terms of bringing artists in Europe, in terms of promotion, event management and stuff, artist management. I have all this experience. Right. So if I can do for Jamaican, if I can do for Senegalese artists, why not my own government artists? Of course, some government promoters or artists, they know what I am doing, because we are all following each other, but they will never easily appreciate what Masterline is doing, for example.
Okay, so but
So
maybe this is the place to talk about what we do,
yeah,
comfortably to disagree to agree, and
yeah,
it's important for you to get your work
hmm,
out there, and I will be very much
exactly.
happy that you come up with something like the Sun Festival that you are doing in Finland. If you can replicate that also in the Gambia, that would be super brilliant. But again, we want to thank you so much for the hard work
Yeah,
that you have been doing
thank you.
for the years.
Yeah,
And I think it's just
and
a start, because you already started with ENC. So
yeah.
maybe you have other plans coming.
Yes, still, like, I have to say it here again, because of course nowadays I started a new career like a recording artist, but still Masterland promotion is still existing in Finland and
My
in
artist,
Gambia.
my
Yeah.
artist.
So I'm still gonna continue bringing artists in Helsinki. I'm
Mhm.
still gonna continue setting tours for artists. And when I say artists, this doesn't mean only Gambian artists, artists in general, whether you are Jamaican or Senegalese or Gambian, artists in general. If you want to work with Masterline Promotion, we are always available to make sure we set up a tour or we bring you in Helsinki, or as the artist want, still Masterline Promotion is here. So the problem is, if government people don't want to appreciate what I'm doing, fine. I'm not gonna run after anybody. But the thing that I have to make it clear, Jamaican people, their managements are working very hard, because they are following every event organizer in Europe, in Africa, in other parts of Europe, in other part of the world, because the management want to see their artists in different part of the world, like in Africa, in Asia, in Europe. So of course they are doing their research. If they know Carl is organizing event in Germany, of course they will contact you. If they see Masala is organizing event in Helsinki, they will contact me. And that's the same thing they do with any other event organizer. So
Okay.
our government people also need to make sure they do lots of research and contact different event organizers, not only Masterline, because I'm not the only promoter even in Helsinki. There are so many other promoters here. So they just have to contact people that are organizing different kind of event. So
Okay.
if they don't contact me and some other artists contact, of course I'm gonna work with them. And again, our own government people will start talking like I'm supporting other artists and leaving out my own. But hey, come on, government artists will not easily contact me as the event organizer in here. So of course, if I need any artist, I'm gonna contact you directly. That's
So
how the business is going.
I think
Yeah,
when we are searching for cultural ambassadors, we shouldn't
mm,
pass you and leave you. So I mean, that advocacy must start. That in our diary, people like you
yeah,
supposed to be representing the Gambia at the highest level. And I must agree with you that
mm,
you are right. What you are talking about, sometimes it's like that. People like us have been serving the music industry for almost
mm-hmm,
2 decades now. And quite often than not, people blame us instead of thanking us. But I mean,
yeah.
that will never,
Typical government style.
yeah, that will never
Yeah,
discourage us from
no
doing
man.
what we love to do. We will still continue to advocate, because I tell people I'm not a promoter, I'm not an artist, but I am an art advocate, and then I will continue to advocate for the right policies. I will continue to advocate for the right discourse in the cultural
Yeah,
sector of the Gambia. and I
True.
can do that for million years, and I will never be tired to do something like that. So thank you so much, brother, and we
Yeah.
appreciate your work. Master,
Thanks.
there
Yeah.
is something very important, like the performance contract, because
Mm-hmm.
these two are very, very important for you to be able to get the work permit. I think
Yes.
it is sensitive, and you have to make that clear, because a lot of people, a promoter
Mm-hmm.
can just come to you and say, I'm going to take you to Europe. I just want you to pay your visa, but I will take care of the other things that I supposed to do in Europe. So he will send
Mm.
you a plain paper that is not even having a business letter or a business identity. And then,
Yeah.
some artists will just go, wow, I am to travel. And then they don't know the details. How can you make that clear?
Uh, I think that there's no embassy that's even gonna listen to you in the very first place, because you will never ever get a visa without no clear documentation, because every embassy, they make their own research. They
Mhm,
check the artist. For example, if I send an invitation to an embassy that I'm bringing this artist so from either from Gambia or from Jamaica or any part of the world, then they do their research. They want to know who is this artist. Before
mhm,
the artist reach the office for interview, they will do their research. But if
mhm,
you don't have any agreement from the tour organizer, you don't have no written document from other promoters that are booking you. For example, if it's a tour, but even it's a single event in Helsinki, for example, they need to see the agreement between Master Lion Promotion and the artist. They need to
mhm,
see the accommodation, like the hotel reservation. They
mhm,
need to see the travel insurance. They need
mhm.
to see the artist bank statement. They need to see all these papers. So if they don't have those written papers, you don't get no visa,
Exactly.
because there's no way you can get from back door to get a visa from embassy. Anybody who tell you no, that is just giving you false information, because you
Exactly.
don't get no visa.
Wow. So
Yeah.
that is loud and clear. So
Hmm.
and again, with regards to the networking, because that is also important, like getting in contact with different promoters. When an
Yeah.
artist is about to travel, then we can be able to extend the performances, and that will give some kind of credibility with regards to the
Mm.
amount of days, the amount of working days, because that is the most
Mm.
important thing. The working days
Yeah.
have to be calculated to understand that you are not just going to enjoy yourself or a normal holiday as a visitor,
Mm.
but you are there as a working artist.
Yeah. Well, Carl, our artists, including myself, we have to continue working hard, because coming to Europe to work, it's not like you coming here to just party, like semestering, going
Mhm,
from different city here and there. If you are coming for a performing tour, that means that is your work. You're coming to do work, perform
mhm,
from different cities, different countries. So then you need to understand that you don't want to come to, like if you say I'm going on a European tour, you don't want to come only Helsinki. You want to go Germany, you want to go different part of Italy, you want to go even different part of Germany. Is a big country. There are a lot of cities and there are a lot of people. There are a lot of places. You want to go Sweden, you want to go Norway and all these countries. How can you get there? That means your management or the tour manager or your European agents have to do this research and make sure contacting different event organizers, different promoters, to make sure you get as many shows as possible.
oh,
So many German artists, their management, for example, some of them they don't talk to Masterline. For example, I'm just giving an example.
an
Or
example. Yeah.
the artist agents in Europe don't want to talk to Masterline. How do you expect Masterline to book you in Helsinki? It's not gonna be possible, because of course, if you contact me, we can discuss. Or I have to contact you if I need, for example, let's say ST is coming here or Jisul is coming on a European tour, example, and I really want to have Jisul or ST in Helsinki. I'm going to contact them directly. Then I discuss with the management or the agent or anybody handling the booking.
Yeah, but I mean,
But
largely in the European countries, we have what you call
mm,
booking agencies.
Booking
And then,
agents, yeah.
yeah, so do you, as a promoter, enter into some kind of networking with booking agencies?
Yeah, exactly. Because Carl, I work for many artists as a booking agent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I have a lot of I have lot of other agents, with network.
Okay.
For example, if I'm bringing an artist from Gambia or from Jamaica, then I will contact all my links, like the agents, booking agents in Europe, to let them know I'm bringing artists from Jamaica or from Gambia, so they also support.
Okay. Something is
Yeah.
echoing. I think Pa, I don't know
No,
if
my boss is here.
yeah.
Carl,
So
I'm sure today I'm gonna have Salibo anyway. So
you're gonna be on Kalilu. Um, thank you so
yes,
much, Master Lion. We will make that clear. But I just want
yeah,
to introduce our bigger boss. We say it like that.
exactly.
Um,
Yes,
the CEO of the Gambia Talents TV, and he is
yes.
no one else but Pa Ousman Joof. He also have a vast experience with regards to inviting Gambian
Mhm.
artists from the Gambia all the way to America. I'm not aware of
I
what.
have to I have to take the hats off for
You have to
Paris
take
man.
that.
Yes,
Because
Look at
it's
that is
really
Masta.
good.
actually
Uh,
yeah, that is a little bit complicated, but I am aware of
yeah.
the fact that
Mm.
even my cousin brother was one time supported by him
Hmm.
to travel to America. That was just like wow, it was a
Yeah.
surprise for quite a lot of
Mm.
Gambians. So Pa is also here to join us, and he was listening to you while we were talking in the past
Okay.
half
Yeah.
an hour. So, welcome to the show, Pa Ousman Joof.
Thank you, Kalilu. Good evening or afternoon. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Yes.
you
Loud
loud.
and clear.
Yes. Master, I salute you. I was listening to you
Respect.
breaking down whatever it is that you are doing. And I say, even though
Yeah.
I don't have a hat on, but hats off to you as well.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, man.
Congratulations for the good job and keep on keeping on. I could relate to
Thanks.
a lot of the things you were saying. And thank you, Kalilu, for inviting me. Sorry for coming in late, and greetings to all the viewers and listeners out there.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Thank you so much, Pa Ousman. So, Pa Ousman, we were talking to Master with regards to a visa processing that cultural creative actors go through with regards to traveling from Africa to Europe and also to America. So you have, a first-hand experience with regards to that. Can you tell
Hmm.
me some of the things that you go through, like documentations, the little things that you put together to be able to do get it done?
Right. Thank you very much, Kalilu. As I listened to Master,
Mm-hmm.
I could relate to a lot of the things that he was saying,
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
it's relative and it's related.
Mm-hmm.
That goes to show that there are systems in the Western world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Most of what Master said is actually what is needed if
Mm-hmm.
you want to come to the United States as well.
Mm.
When it comes to the US,
Mm-hmm.
instead of an invitation, as
Mm-hmm.
Master said,
Mm.
for the artist, here you have to sign or fill out or apply or file a petition called P3 visa. The visa type that the artist should get is P3 visa, which is a
Mm.
performance visa,
Mm-hmm.
as he said, also known as a worker's visa. And
Mm-hmm.
this
Yeah.
P3 visa is signed using the I-129, which
Mm-hmm.
of course there are basic things that need to happen. There's
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be an agent or agency or institution here in the US that is established and registered, as Master said, who can actually file this on your behalf. And
Yeah.
this institution has to be established. There are about 5 to 6 things also that Master mentioned as to what are needed. And one of those things would be a recognition of the institution inviting you by a labor organization. A labor
Mm-hmm.
organization should recognize the institution.
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, let's say if we are talking about labor organization in Gambian standard, we're talking about the music union, for example. So
Mm-hmm.
here, it will be the American Artists Association that the institution should be affiliated or related to, and they will of course give you those backing to say that you are a recognized institution that can actually, that is kuyanga to see your arts, culture, art performance, and all of that. That is what is expected to be from the petitioning agency or institution that's bringing you, in addition to having all the legal requirements from the being registered with the Secretary of State's office in whatever state you are operating in, to having your federal EIN number. If it is a non-profit organization, having a 501c3 status, which is the status given to you by the Internal Revenue Service for you to be a tax-exempt organization, and other nitty-gritties or documents that the organization over here needs. Now, it's very important for the artist to know how established the individual or institution bringing them is, whether they are recognized by the American Artists Association, whether they are recognized by the IRS, are they registered with the Internal Revenue Service, because that is needed. Masta talked about collecting taxes. You have to have an EIN number as an employer. It's called the Employer Identification Number. You have to have that so that they can actually collect the taxes from you. And a lot of individuals get into it without having an EIN number, and they tell artists, I'm going to bring you to the US, this and that. These are things that Gambian artists don't know. But an EIN number is an employer identification number that you need, together with the recognition from the labor organization, is the petitioning party, part of the American Artists Association or any other party that can actually suggest that they are good to go. Then on the side of the artist, on the other hand, they need to have credibility, some form of documentation to show that, hey, I am actually an artist, a performing artist, because the P3 petition is for people that are coming here to coach, to train, to perform any form of art, from music to theater or anything else. There should be something that can show that, document-wise, that can show that you are actually an artist. Whether a performing artist, whether a theater or whatever, you should be able to establish that with documents. This could include press clips, newspaper publications, and things like that, media publications. So this is where our artists need to work very hard in making sure that they befriend the media, and instead of making the media an enemy. They think that they get it on their own. For the most part, Gambian artists rely on their social media. It is good, but their social media alone does not take them places. You need professional stories and things written about you. I mean, coverage by professional media houses. The media clip and press clips are very important.
Yeah, in our language, we call it a press kit.
Yes, press kit, yes.
Professionally, you can even get that from professionals. They can help you to assemble them together. And then you can have a press kit that you can present to an embassy.
Yeah, to add something what Pra is explaining. Like I said, when Chronics was coming in the first time, so what he's explaining, me as Masta promotion, I have to write this document to add it to all different promoters and then the booking agents in Europe. So that document is what he's talking.
Yeah.
Yes. So you need a press. You need a press kit, and a lot of them don't worry or focus about that. They are only focused on their own social media. Even when media houses invite them, whether print or electronic, Hajan reklen faneneke. Hajan, eka bebe wolla.
But today you have
to
educate them. So today,
no, but I say it as it is.
Yeah, exactly.
This is important for them. It's important for them to have a proper press kit and be friends with the media. To have media publications is important.
Exactly.
In fact, going back to it, you also have to be able to establish that you are an artist. Number two, a contract should be between you and the performing artist or group, whether an individual or a group. If a group is supposed to come, there's supposed to be a contract or an agreement to show that they are an established group. A lot of the Gambian groups have no agreement.
Exactly.
They have no written agreement. What are you going to show if you want to bring in? When I interviewed Bright Stars Entertainment that just got scammed not long ago, I interviewed them 2-3 years ago when they just started, and I asked them if they have a contract, and they were very quick to tell me, oh, ñun soxla wuñ contract. Ñun, we are friends. We go way back. We are friends. We don't need a contract. Ñun, I mean, lolu so gisee ñena am contracts, amulen trust within each other. Bima len waxe ne lolu xelaati xalel la, they were offended by it. But of course, now they can tell you that thanks to that interview I had with them, when I educated them, after that they decided to go have a contract between themselves. Manelen, whether you fit to killer is about traveling, or even if you don't travel, if you are in the Gambia, anything can happen. Mungena talk kena your master lion to come and say to Bright Stars, oh, I only want to take Asan, or I only want to take Bugudabi or Bugatabi, and Asan will go and play the art that you guys did when it could be a group. You need to have some form of agreement that would secure you guys. So Asan Toge, wala Bugada, wala Kujali, or any of them, they pass away. Yalna yih. Wala they are no longer doing music. What will happen to their royalties? What will happen to their family members who would want to claim some form of the benefits, the work that they have done so far? So it's good that they have some form of agreement. But most Gambian groups don't have an agreement. And here I am telling them it's important that if you are a group, you have an agreement as a band to say that you are part of this band or this group, and this and this and this is what a person's responsibility is.
Yeah, but what is also important, I don't know whether you guys are very aware of that. The Musicians Union of the Gambia is a registered member of the International Musicians Federation.
Yes, and I was going to come to that, Kalilu. That's the third thing I said about 5-6 things, as Master Lion said. In addition to having this contract between the petitioning agency and the petitioned person, they also need to have, and they have in a press kit. So fake an artist be amna a press kit. They also need to have some form of recommendation from a labor union or an institution in their country. Such as the music
NCAC.
union, NCAC, the musicians union. So artists in si bari si ñom fulaluñ music union bi, fulaluñ NCAC. They need the backing of those people if they want to be able to travel to the US or anywhere. So here I am telling the artists, right? Master, you can come in there in a minute. I am telling the Gambian artists, they worry about a lot of the little things that will cage them and not establish themselves to be able to take it internationally or to the next level. So here I am encouraging all the Gambian artists to take your music union, very important, to take the NCAC, very important. Of course, you can demand things from them. We know they have not been perfect, and it's a whole lot of things if we are to talk about the union or NCAC and what they do. But for the purpose of wanting to travel to the West or to the US, you need their backing. Master, you can add on to that if you want to come in.
Exactly. What he was explaining is really true, because I was blamed some time ago when I was trying to bring one artist or a group from Gambia, and then they were unfortunate to get the visa. So then I made a follow up with the embassy trying to ask what went wrong, because I always want to know why. So the embassy said in the one line that they were not convinced that this is the artist, because that means if the artist papers are not convincing or the papers are not enough, so they can reject you easily.
Exactly.
So Master, that brings me to
then the blame was on me. They trying to blame me that I don't provide a good paper for the artist here and there. I said to them, all the document that I present to you people, you can take it to anybody, any office, let them check whether they are not real papers. Because these are papers which are already registered in Finland, stamped in the Finnish Magistracy Office. So everything from this country, Finland, is official.
So that is what I wanted to add to it, Master. It doesn't matter you the petitioning, you the promoter that is trying to bring the artist or the booking agent. It doesn't matter how established you are. It doesn't matter what documents you send to these artists. Most of them, they reject. Why they are rejected is because of their ability to produce enough documents that would support them to show that they are the artists, they are the registered artists, and they need and that they have enough country ties, and that is the key word there. Enough country ties. When it comes to the US, they look at that a lot. They look at your ability, your ability to return after you travel. That is what they call. And 99% of Gambian artists who have been refused US visas, is because they cannot produce enough country ties. And when they talk about country ties, they are looking for certain things. Establishments you have in Gambia that would show that you will return after your trip to the US or somewhere else. This could include things like if you have a business, the business being registered. For example, if you are operating as ST Bilkama Boyo or Jizzle Kingdom or the Lyrical Kiddo or Attack or whatever your name is it registered with GRA? Is it registered with Justice? Do you have all the necessary paperwork? Is the business registered? Little things like a bank account. I say these things to them. A lot of the artists, when they get paid in cash. Nga ñëw Masta bugalen yobu Birkama o bugalen yobu Banjul o Serekunda o Palafenye ye ko di jarama sama nang 5,000 10,000 20,000 ja jarama konti nga jox len ko. It doesn't take you places. You need to have paper trail. Be paid professionally. Let people write you checks. When they check, they give you cash. Go and deposit that cash in the bank and have a bank account, a functioning bank account. And it will faham. They think that when we say functioning bank account, it means that the money should be sitting there. You are a businessman, and nobody is expecting your money to be in there. You need to be fluid, and being fluid means your money should be circulating. Obviously, if you perform, at the end of the day, you need to be able to pay yourself, pay the people that you are working with, the band members, the promoter, the DJ. I mean, different people performing or doing different things in the van. They need to be paid. But a lot of them, how much money you make annually, they cannot tell you. Or even if they tell you, it's nowhere in the bank. You need to be able to make money. We know Gambia doing their deal with credit cards and the like. But when they make money, they need to be able to put this money in the bank so that it's going to be there to be documented to show, okay, when you go to the embassy. I heard Masta saying this earlier that if the promoter brings you, the promoter is supposed to show that they can take care of your logistics from your transportation, your accommodation, feeding, and all of that. But if this is an agreement between Masta and the artist to say that the artist will be responsible for this logistics, artists we should be able to have a bank statement to show that I made this money.
Yes. And nowadays that is needed.
Yes, but when they make money, the same night the same night they Sedo or Alexi, or even if they are given a deposit, they charge $20,000. They get 10,000 a week or two before the show, or shortly before as soon as they confirm their booking, the next minute they keep this money. I mean, they go ahead and distribute it. Like a cosisa benakinol tabije, wala them tears in do is a guinea dinner or something. Lolo in the America or Europe. Go ahead.
No.
But there was a time I could remember the music union was advocating for that every individual artist is a company, and then we try to even advocate to them that they should be able to institute what you call foundations, like the ST Foundation. You have Tismo Suso's Foundation. This were the Tismo Suso's Foundation, Omid Wisdom movement on child labor and sexual harassment in the Gambia. He was advocating for things like that. Barham Cham was also involved in advocacy projects. So we were trying to educate the artists for them to understand things like that, to establish themselves. So I think these are very important for our
so basic things that they need before anything. Before anything, Kalilu, what the artists need before they promote, even this is even for local. Before talking about going to Europe, the artists need to be registered. If you want to do business, it's not even expensive. I don't think it's more than $500 is to go and register with the Secretary of look at me saying Secretary of State, that's here, with the Attorney General's chambers and GRA. If nothing, you need these two registrations. And for the sake of Gambia, you need GPPA registration, Gambia Public Procurement Authorities registration, before you can get any government contract in Gambia. The more registrations, the more institutions you are registered with. So I'm encouraging all artists, if you are not registered, one, go ahead and register with GRA. Within a day, you can get your registration. Go ahead and register with, not long ago, I produced kits that have to do with COVID-19 vaccine education. I could not pay anybody cash. And the person I was dealing with, some of the actors and actresses, wanted me to write the check in their own name, and I couldn't write it in their name. You need to go and register, have a bank account. You need to be paper trail.
I think I was paid with a check.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
People, I pay people with check, even in Gambia. And
Yeah.
the people that we deal with, they know we give them checks and stuff. So you need to be able to establish yourself. Go ahead and register with GPP, if nothing, Ministry of Justice. Go ahead and register with GRA. Go ahead and register with DPPA so that you can have government contracts. And even if not government contracts, the more registrations you have, the more legit your business will be. It establishes that you are an institution. Go ahead and register
Yeah.
with the music union. Go ahead with register with NCAC. If you have these 5 registrations in Gambia, you open a bank account. This is the starting point. The second thing you need to do is they need a website. They think social media, a lot of them go to social media. Artists, Gambian artists, especially the big
That's
artists,
what.
who among them have a website? It's a very important piece that is looked at. Master Lion said it earlier. Embassies go to the internet.
They
I've
do
had
research. Yeah.
artists that were refused visas. They will claim, when we try to bring them here in the past, they claim, oh, go to my social media. I have this much hit. Not long ago, I saw Oboy's manager, Siboya, and them celebrating that he's the first Gambian artist to reach 100,000 followers on YouTube and 1 million views. Gizul will celebrate it here and there. ST will celebrate it. That means very little. Go ahead and have your own websites where you have professional information. It doesn't have to be super this thing. Let me just explain this. Let the website has a home page. Let it have an about us page where you have your biography. Let it have a contact page where people can contact you. Have an event calendar where your event bookings are going to be at.
Exactly.
If you have a photo gallery or your videos, is a plus. But just these 4 pages is good enough on a website. You need it. So all these artists that are calling themselves big artists, let them have a website. Whether it's Jizul, it's ST, it's Attack, it's Royal Messenger, it's Jaliba Kuyate, it's Oh Boy, all the people that we are celebrating as our big artists this minute, they need websites. This day and age, if you don't have a website, you are disqualifying yourself from having certain opportunities. Because when you talk about promoters, and I will say this, right? I took Pa Omar Jack to an institution in Alaska. We were there, and I went about introducing her to some people. And I say, oh, those days Pa Omar Jack was on top of the chart. I said, he is one of the biggest artists in Gambia. And the lady sarcastically looked at me, oh, what's his website? I said, look him up on YouTube. The lady looked at me and said, oh, so he is the biggest artist, or one of the biggest artists from Gambia. And he is only on YouTube. He's only on YouTube. That was embarrassing. Because Pa Omar Jack did not have a website. Those days, having a website was much harder. You, the artist, you have fans, you have followers, and you are making the money. There are web developers in Gambia. Pay them. If you are making money and you all are bragging and posting your beautiful cars, your Range Rovers, your Rolls Royce, and all these cars that you are having, your Chryslers and stuff, 300s and stuff, go ahead and pay somebody. Alkodo Fintindi, your website will Bilal. Well, you can have one of your cars paid to your website. The money should circulate.
I'll have to do that. So, Master Larry, you hear what Pa is saying?
No, what Pa is saying, I really, you just read my mind. I want to talk about website, but don't even look at the website. Go to Facebook to check government artists with the artist page.
Professional, yes, those who have own page.
Artist own page, the personal page, like Masterline. I have my own Facebook page. I have Masterline promotion page. So our government artists, is very difficult to find their artist page in Facebook. As simple as Facebook. In there, you can put your biography and everything. But go and check. It's very difficult even to find information in social media, which is just free of charge. Just create an artist page and put the artist biography and all what Pa is mentioning. You cannot even find it. So it's very difficult.
When my people do shows, Kalilu, and when my people do shows and they try to
them, you go online and do research about. Can you hear me now? You go online when my people do shows. When my like Maria Masisa, she does the 2 entertainment shows on Gambian talents. Whenever she's to have an artist, she goes online. They've been taught to do research, and they have to go online and do research about this artist. They barely find anything about this artist. They barely do.
Yeah.
And they think it should be just that, running away from the media, not having anything professional. Go to their biographies, as Master Lion said. Go to each of them,
Yeah.
their pages, and you see if you will find a proper bio written about any of them.
Yeah.
They use their own personal pages instead of having a professional page. To their credit, some of them have it. ST Birkama Boyo is utilizing his page now. I mean, Jizul and all of them, they have their own personal, professional page, social media pages from YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, LinkedIn. They should be in all these platforms and have a big presence on them. But most of them are
Yes.
only on Facebook. And
No,
most
but
of what they post there,
even their, sorry to interrupt, even in their own personal Facebook pages, they don't put their biography in there.
yes,
So,
yes,
and
and
that
it's
is very
important.
important because it's
Yes.
very important.
So these are the nitty-gritties, Kalilu, and the basic things that they need to have. In addition to registering with the 5 institutions that I said, GPPA, Ministry of Justice, GRA, Music Union, yes, NCAC. If you have these basic registrations, anything else is a bonus. Go ahead and open your bank account professionally. Start and establish a website. If you have these 7 things, it's a starting point for you. Any institution that is trying to deal with you, these are the things that they are going to look at to start anything. And if they see that you are credible and you have all of these things, if you have a website and it has all these basic pages that I said, you are good to go. At the end of the day, you will be able to do a lot better. You will be looked at as a very credible institution. They will be able to trust you and be able to give you contracts. Any credible institution, man, if I am to bring any artist to the United States, right? You must produce these things. You must have all of these things.
Exactly.
So if any promoter is to call you and they're not asking for these things, they probably don't know what they're doing.
There you go, Carl. Because like I was explaining some time ago in one of the interview, like some promoters which are not Gambian, they are very strict with all what Pai is saying. So if they are not convinced, they don't get any information about you. They don't even waste no time on you. They just go to other artists because they see that you are still not ready. So if you are working professionally, any promoter can invite it, because in Europe here there are a lot of festivals where they bring all different kind of African artists from any part of Africa. So they do research, and once they have all the information they need, they will contact you straight away.
You go to Gambia, Kalilu, you go online and you look for Gambian artists, you barely find anything. You barely find anything. The only thing you may find is them flashing things, their cars, their things that they're doing. That is all that they put there.
Exactly.
If they are involved in projects, this is very important to show that you are involved in projects and tangible projects.
Yeah.
You can show filling up the stadium or anything, but at the end of the day, how are you able to translate this into a professional level or at a professional note is very important. So they worry about the wrong things, the small things that they're doing. I mean, locally, it's fine. Not a konoka junale. Then 10 period of their office, they're satisfied with that. Good luck to them. But any serious institution like Gambia government, for example, you cannot have any contract with them unless you are registered with GPPA. I'm not even sure if a good number of them know that. You cannot do anything with the government, any serious project.
Some of them do know, because we try to advocate, we try to talk to them about things like this. But it's very difficult over the years, because these are important things. And then some of the people are asking what the music union is doing for them. And these are the areas that we've been advocating for, so that artists could be able to work professionally. And it's not only about holding the mic, having microphone disease, but also understanding the different processes that are important in the cultural change. A lot of people are also complaining that the various events that are also happening in the Western world, or even in America, some of the promoters, the events that they are organizing, they are nowhere to be seen. You don't.
When you say they're nowhere to be seen, what are you implying? Who is not seen, or what is not seen?
for instance, you invite a Gambian artist for a one-night show in a club, less than 150 people entrance. How can you be able? What kind of performance is that?
So I am glad you asked this question, and this now will take me to the promoters or whatever they call it. You see, the reality is Gambian musicians always rely on or focus on the wrong people. And I heard Master Lion said it. I said I can relate to a lot of the things that he's saying. Gambia, over dangerous. Namol dangerous battle. When people want to cage you, we keep you in the dark and make you not to know the light and act like ñun ñoy waji ñun ñola nekk di support te lebe makoy kang. And we keep you in the dark, and this is what is happening to a lot of our artists. The people that they are dealing with will cage them. If you look at it back in the days, then were even politics, ne sada ravanyo mudagal dekabi mbamal niti defut electricity, naka TV or whatever in the country because they didn't want Gambians to be aware. Yeah, they came and brought GRTS, but monopolized it, and all that he was showing is what he wants people to see. When I do my shows, I talk about it. Ñun Gambians, we are a replica of ourselves. Our leadership is a replica of ourselves. How we act at home, in our houses, what we do during our individual, things, neighborhood, dokudulal, sambana. Exactly. Gambian organizations, Gambians around the world organize events. Gambian organizations in diaspora, they organize these events. They are the ones that organize these cultural events. And unfortunately, it is only for us. They organize events only for our people. If you organize an event, you call it a Gambian event, you will not have more than 150 people, 200 people, everybody. Because people are busy working. Desnasi State being organizer or the city that you organize in like Helsinki that the Masta said or whatsoever. If you don't have a whole lot of Gambians there, why would you only organize an event that would target Gambians alone? Who said all the Gambians there would have time to come and attend the event? How much promotion do they do? And when it comes to these organizations, in fact, that promise Gambian artists in the fee, Nyom organization, they can be in trouble, and the artists themselves can be in trouble because a lot of them, especially in the US here, instead of filing the P3 petition visa for the artists, as I mentioned earlier, they don't go that route because of the different logistics and things that are involved. What they do is they invite these artists by writing a regular invitation letter for them. They are recognized as cultural ambassadors or something. When they are actually, in fact, inviting those artists to come and perform. And a lot of these artists, because they are so desperate to travel, they don't do any research and they just want to travel. They can agree to even come, as Masta said, pay their own tickets. I know of a Gambian artist that came here. Several of them that came here, and when they came, they thought, okay, so America, they are done. My sister Nancy Nance, when she was coming to the US back in 2009 or so, Nancy went ahead and produced 1,000 DVDs of her videos that she produced at the time. 1,000 DVDs. Amadem July 4th. At the time. I couldn't them are DVDs, you know. She couldn't even sell 50 or 100 DVDs. Because of the expectation that Nancy had producing the DVDs, thinking people here don't know them a lot. It's just the reality. The way they think they are known here is far different from the reality. What they see on social media does not translate to your realities. It doesn't. Yeah. And you will have few people that would contact you here and there to tell you, oh, we are following you, we are your fans. If 10 people contact you, you call Mapa or Swalla call Kenen, fans in your demand. 10 people did not ma organize show man for a Gambian artist because 10 people contacted you. Give me the proof that 5,000 people contacted you, and you see whether I will not build the convention center to have you there. Give me proof that 2,000 people contacted you, and you are a demand by 2,000 people in the US. You see if I would not go ahead and get the dome and get you there. But 5-10 people tell them that, oh, you are this, you are that. Hey, we cannot wait for you to come to Germany in a fancy young man demand. Now 10 people know that demand. Go get your stuff together and make sure that you are doing the right thing. So Gambian organizations in the diaspora are the ones that bring them here. They don't file a petition for them, and those organizations can be in trouble. The artists themselves can be in trouble at the end of the day, because Yangenyo America they perform, and you don't have any visa, any work authorization to perform in the US. You can be in trouble. The artists can be in trouble. And what they fail to realize now that we are in the era of social media, Masta said it. Embassies and the US Department of State and Immigration, they go online and look at things. So when you're at the airport, and that's why I was Bright Stars Entertainment, where they didn't even know what they were doing. They didn't even have a visa. They went and published it to say that they are coming to the US. I'm going visa, sir. After with everything that they said in their interviews, after everything, on the whole, it wasn't even a petition that was filed on their behalf. This was somebody just telling them that I have access to bring you to the US, and they didn't even file a visa for them.
I try to bring them on board, but as regular, the way we approach things as Gambians, we don't want to discuss as one big family. We don't want people to tell us what to do exactly. And I know they don't want to talk about it. I have seen their engagements, all the places that they have gone to. The persons who are even interviewing them don't even know the facts. So
yes, and this is the thing. Just this morning, let me tell you, just this morning, my team in Gambia sent me, because they are part of the project that I am doing, and I talked to Hassan and them 2 weeks ago. I wanted them for an interview. You know, my bro be like, as soon as it happened, I wanted to interview them, and they would have learned a lot from the interview. Exactly. Because I know the process and the but they ran away from me until this minute. Today, my team in Gambia sent me a screenshot that they were on the AM show on GRTS having an interview there. They will run away from Gambian talents because they think that we are going to be critical of them when they come here. But I'm telling you, even today, they were on the AM show on GRTS, but they will not come here.
No. We will never be critical. We are just going to speak the truth, and we will speak it loudly and clearly, and try to separate the chaff from the wing so that people can educate from it. I think this is the challenge I am having, and Pa, you did told me at the beginning of this project that Kalilu, at some point it will be difficult for you to get people. But again, thank God we are still going.
Because they are only interested on those platforms that babysit them, that tell them, yeah, fit touch, fanya perform, sa show bili, sa album bilele. Only the things that they want. Promotion is all they are interested in a short note. To summarize it, they are only interested in those platforms that will promote them and only ask them things about Nyom Linyo Def, such as the tour that they are doing, the album they release, the single they release, instead of talking about the issues that are surrounding them. And music is called showbiz. It's a full package. Yeah, what you are doing is all part of it, and you should be able to discuss these things.
So because the touring, the Gambian associations that you are talking about, I experienced it with a Gambian musician, and I could not just believe that. The artist was performing. We have to travel overnight. We have to sleep in a train. I have to get him to a hotel. And then at the end of the day, after the show, the promoter just have to tell us that we managed to have only like 200 euros. And not knowing that I spent almost nearly about 250 euros on behalf of that artist to get there. So
because a lot of the artists don't get themselves together, and all that they are interested in is the opportunity to travel to be able to do these things. So the Gambian associations, and I will name them here. You talk about Atlanta, is the Atlanta Gambia Emergency Relief Association, AJERA. You talk about Washington, D.C., if you are talking about the U.S., is the Gambian GAA, Gambia American Association. You go to Texas, the Gambia Texas Association. You come to Seattle here, the Seattle Gambian Association. You go to New York, the New York Gambian Organization. So they in London, you're talking about Yaram Arts or the other organizations that are there. Yaram Arts is the one that organizes the cultural festival there. You go to Birmingham and other places. But now they have their own festivals as well. They have their own festivals. You go to what you call it, Sweden, they have Agita there and other organizations. A lot of these are Gambian organizations. Very rarely amongst them, if they are listening to me and they are honest to themselves, they don't go through the route of filing. And interesting enough, you know what? when they are bringing Senegalese artists, most of them, they file for them. Most of them, they file a petition for them to bring them over to the US or to their places. Because the Senegalese artists will not just do that. They will not just get up and say, bring me to the US. And you come and bring them and not file anything on their behalf.
Most of the time, Pa, what they are doing, our government people, Pa has mentioned so many things which I also want to talk about. For example, to just say exactly what he's mentioning. For example, if I bring an artist, or already the artist got a visa coming from Gambia, that is the time this organization will contact the artist. We want you to come and let's say now perform the event already. They don't want to take part when you are processing the artist visa or the band's visa. They will wait until when the artist get the visa, then they try to contact the artist to book the artist on their event. And this is really only Gambian people who always do like that.
You know, Kalilu, from get-go, you and I had this conversation. I told you this. I said it to Ojaju. I said it to a few people. When the Bright Stars Entertainment deal came out, from when I saw their flyer, I knew it was a scam. I knew it was fake. And I think I told you this, right?
You told me. I told Master Lion that Pa is a marabout.
Yeah, no, it's not a marabout because of my experience. No, it's just that I would not go and tell them at the time. They are already not even comfortable dealing with me. A lot of these Gambian artists, because mandumalen babysit, mandamalena wak degabi, telimalena wak is always what will come back to be the reality. And my consent is clear because I tell them the truth and the facts. And we can negotiate in the way we tell them. They are mostly arrogant. They are mostly worried about the wrong things, pompous and cocky. And the little they have is what they take to be the biggest of success. And they don't know the music time. And man, yet we have a genuine love for Gambia and Gambian music and showbiz and entertainment. And we will continue to do this.
Yeah. Even myself,
without anything,
I am inviting you people, but even myself, I got those attacks as soon as I found myself here. I just want to be honest to the public that there is no point in time an artist from the Gambia has given me money for any kind of support. I do everything as a representative of the Gambian Musicians Union then before. And not only the Gambian Music Union, but the problem Uncle Badu is saying here, diaspora associations refuse to comply with normal business agreements.
Yes.
This is the reason why people like Kalilu, they will always say, oh, Kalilu, he likes to complain. But the reality, what should be done, and people should follow the process.
I will name them as it is. These Gambian organizations in the diaspora, if they are inviting these artists, they need to get it together, and the artists need to know. Exactly. And guess what? Those are the associations that the artists run after. And they don't even have the clue. And in fact, Mantuti was contacting some of these associations. I'm aware of the fact that she was contacting some of these, or they were contacting some of these associations. I mean, trying to say, okay, we're gonna go. When you ask Bright Star, when they said, okay, US tour, confirm. You coming for a tour, you don't even have a visa. What type of visa were you going to have? You're coming for a tour. Basic embassy, basic airport with New Delhi and back, even if they had the visa, they will come all the way here to the airport in New York or wherever, and they will take them back. There is supposed to be an itinerary. When I didn't even finish the items that you need. I mentioned
that's what I want to say.
I talked about the few things that you need: the registrations, the recognition from NCAC, for example. Having all the documentations. You also need a tour itinerary. I had Master mention it. For here too, you need a tour itinerary. You need to have flyers. And bookings to show that okay, you are going to be performing at this state, or this place and this place. Yes,
you did told me something. You did. Pa did told me something. I have to say that here. You did told me that it was 6 people from the Bright Star who are coming to travel to America, and they are going to different states. And you told me, Kalilu, economically, one promoter could not be able to do that. Because when you look at the transportation and the accommodation and moving from one state to another, how is that going to happen? So you did that.
Yes. So let's analyze this, right? according to Bright Stars and the things that they said, I watch their interviews. Me, I follow these things. And even though they wouldn't grant me one, I wanted to know their reality. And according to them, Seattle was going to be their base. You know how much is a ticket? Yes, this was going to be their base. The average ticket, right, for to come to Seattle to come to Seattle from the Gambia is not going to cost you anything less than $1,700 to come to Seattle, and this was going to be their base. You add 1,700 by 6 people.
That is
that not close to $10,000?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. From there on, if they come here, they said they were going to stay here for 3 months. 3 months tall in Fironeka. The math doesn't add up. US will not give them how many shows were they going to have that US will give them 3 months visa. It's not tactical. In any case, if you are to do these shows, for the most part, it's okay weekend by weekend, because weekdays people are busy. You may choose 2, 3, or 4 weekends, 1 month maximum, where every weekend you perform at least Friday, Saturday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And if this was to happen, if they were to come here, how it would have happened, for example, would have been New York is the base where most people will land, either New York or Washington, D.C. That's where flights from Gambia or Senegal come to. There's no direct flight to Seattle. So if you land in New York or in DC, do you think it makes sense for you to do your first show in Seattle? That is, to come to Seattle from New York, you need $450 or more. $400 a ticket from New York to Seattle. So you're looking at a ticket here, if they were to be based in New York, for example, and they come here, suñ waree dem New York, jógee fi ñu dem Texas, jógee fa delluwaat Maryland, jógee fa dem Mississippi, or wherever they said they were going to be going. It's not realistic. Whoever was doing their planning didn't do it well, because
that's why
what is tactical is if I were
sorry to interrupt. That's why sorry to interrupt. This tour itinerary, you have to do the tour routing.
Roadmap, exactly, the roadmap.
Yeah, roadmap, because in embassy, I can say all the embassy, these are things that they are very, very concerned, because they want to see from this port to this port what is the means of transport. Is it by flight? Is it by road? Is it by train? Is it by own tour bus or whatever? You have to put everything clearly in writing. So if it's not realistic, you wouldn't get the visa.
Yeah, so that's what I am saying. If Bright Stars was even to believe, this alone, this roadmap alone could have been a reason for them to be denied a visa, because Malaysian base was going to be here in Seattle, and if they were to come here to Seattle, if they have a show in New York, you them take New York and fly back to Seattle, they spend $400 minimum per person by 6. They go to Texas. They will spend an equal or more to fly to Texas. We are talking about $2,000 or more, $2,500 on their flights to Texas alone. So there are 2 ways through which this can be done, Kalilu. Either the promoter that that was to bring them, Mam Tuti or Tuti Promotion, would have been the one that would book all these shows in the different states or venues that they want to take them. Or, just like Master Lion said, that promoter can sell the show to other organizations and promoters in different parts of the US.
And you
and maybe, and then those ones, so those organizations, their responsibility now would have been to actually, let's say, if they go to Atlanta to perform there, if they said they are to go and perform in Atlanta from Seattle, if Ajera, the Atlanta Gambian Association, was going to be responsible for them, they buy the show from Tutti Promotion for $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, however much they agree with Tutti on. Tutti will sell, the promoter will sell the show to those organizations or individual promoters in the different states. Lim agree at Bright Stars or any band that you are bringing, whatever you agree with them on. If I do my negotiation with, let's say, Jaliba Kuyate or Jizzle or ST, I tell ST, I want you to give me 5 shows in the US. How much will you charge me? ST say, I charge you $1,000 per show, or $2,000 per show, or $3,000 per show. That's 15,000. I say, ST, that's too much. I cannot afford 15,000. We negotiate until $2,000 per show, and we agree on $10,000. He said, give me 5,000. I have to get 50% deposit or 20% or however much. I send him $5,000 deposit. and we are confirmed. Now it is my responsibility. Mom ST, my agreement with him is 5 shows. If I want, I can charge $15,000 per show.
Yes,
ST
exactly.
and I agreement is only the 2,000, the 10,000 that I agree with him.
Exactly.
Whatever I charge in these places is none of his business.
Exactly.
Sometimes, as Master said, though, you can have a partnership with the artist to say, I bring you over, I take care of all the logistics, you come and perform, we go into percentage. 20%, 80%, or 60-40, or 50-50. And the artist agrees to say, okay, I want to do that. Now let's go on a percentage basis, right?
Yeah.
So if I go on
that is very clear. I don't want us to have any misunderstanding, because Faxcoli wrote that, what is the NCAC doing to send artists to abroad for shows? I just want to make it clear to Faxcoli, it is not the responsibility of NCAC to get Gambian artists to travel for overseas tours. It is the role yeah, because NCAC is registered into the international arts and culture organizations. So every country has arts and culture. So NCAC had that bilateral relationship with them. Maybe
So what I want to add to that is, you see, these are some of the things that we believe. We want to depend so much on institutions, government, and the like for everything. The average us, the Gambians, for the most part. And it is not responsibility of the government. Yes, government, what they need to do is, one, to set the policies and programs, especially the laws, the policies that would empower our arts and culture sector to make it lucrative, to make it easy for institutions that are and individuals that are in the arts and culture sector to be able to thrive and go far and be able to do these things, to empower the musicians, to empower the musicians union, to empower the different organizations and stakeholders in the performing arts industry, and also to probably make the connection or provide things like recommendations here and there and things like that. Yes, but not to actually send them abroad, as our brother Fabs is saying. That is not the responsibility of the NCAC.
To add on that, they don't, of course, like you said, they don't send no artists. Even not only Gambia, no country will, for example, NCAC, no country will send an artist on a tour.
Yes. So what
unless,
they can do, maybe
they make a recommendation, or, for example, from my experience, I always ask artists to get a paper from NCAC. That means the recommendation, and then to write something like a backing later or whatever recommendation from NCAC, and they always provide that. Always NCAC always provide.
So there, at some point though, there might be instances where NCAC has opportunities. They are invited to go and participate in a cultural activity abroad, and they need Gambian officers. And for NCAC, for the most part, we've been seeing or hearing them taking Nyomsen Bopanyudem for those things, which is not okay. If something is meant for the performing arts industry, give it to those in the industry for guide them. NCAC might be doing those things, but then besides it's not their role to bring any artist for a tour to Europe or America or whatever. Individual artists know what refine and perfect their art to be creative in a way that if you are to bring them here, what they will be doing will be entertaining. What they will be doing will be spectacular. And I can share these links to people who are interested in it. And you go to the US CIS website and you will see all these things that I mentioned earlier, the things that you need to be able to come to the United States at the end of the day. You will see that your arts, the thing you are doing should be unique, should look like something that is not here in the United States, that is not available, or that will be hard to find here. And that is very important. But if you're doing the same thing that is readily available here, you think US want to sell, and this is where the sense of patriotism come into being. You think US want to come to the US and do the same thing that the people from here are doing. They want to keep the US market for the US people for the most part. But so I may look different. That will be very important.
Yeah, Magnificent Joe is saying managers and overseas promoters must and should register their businesses to be legally existing. And that is what you two were talking about since we started the program. I think that answers in fact, Fax is also saying that, he meant the same thing that you were talking about. I think it is the role of the overseas promoters, promoting bodies who are in Europe and America. They should be able to legally establish themselves and then the Gambian artists also need to be legally set up. They need to respect and also recognize their institutions, like the National Center for Arts and Culture, and also the Musicians Union of the Gambia, so that they could they could what you call.
Kalilu, I was saying the thing about country ties. I didn't get to finish that as well. That when they go to look for a visa, they need to establish that they have enough country ties, which would show that or prove that if they travel to Europe or America, they will return. Madur dala semua brother fofu nyom magnificent Joe nyom Benjamin nyom Benjamin Ricola nyom Singate nyom Dr. Oluganda nyom Pa Omar Jag. They want to be able to establish that you are not gonna Pa Omar Jag on them, you are not gonna Dr. Oluganda on them, you are not going to Singate on them, you will return when you finish your tour, you will return back to Gambia. So they need you to be able to establish enough country ties. And what are those things that are enough country ties? One, the registrations that I talk about to show that you have a legit business that is working, and of course it's able to generate you income. You're desperate, you're nyakulo, you are not broke, as ENC fought me about in the past. Vex Gonji man a Gambian artist, then broke ENC man support lolu ENC mune. But then you need to be able to make some money that shows that you are making money. And making money and putting it in your pocket does not show that you are making money. You need to have a functioning bank account that shows money coming in and out. Even if you are paying your producers, so what if a J Live, so what if a Tra, so what if a stylist or any of these producers, you write a check for these people, for heaven's sake. Let every business transaction you are doing about your music is done in the form of a check. Let it be official.
I think the problem that I identify, the short period that I stayed in Europe, is I've been having contact with different people, and some of them will run away because at the end of the day, with the development knowledge, I try to understand to the fact that the establishments that people normally say that is what they have, they don't have the official backup. And then this
boy, koto in Europe nak dañ dem bamal boy nak te boy xamuñ ko ndeysaan promoters yi nekk Europe ñi ci register ñi ci Europe ak America especially Europe promoters boy dañ de over bamal boy nak yéen a ngi seetaan nag I know we love you all, but bàyyi leen di mbaamal boy, what you don't have, don't show it, because the reality is when these people come to Europe or America, they will get to find out that what you are saying is not what is there.
No,
you
the
need
truth
to have
is,
all the necessary backing and the stuff that you need.
So Master Lion, our respect to you, because since
Carl, allow me to say this. We have so many government promoters online. Yeah, like social media, online promoters are so many. But how many of these promoters are officially registered? That's the question. So without this official registration, there are certain things you cannot do as a promoter.
Yes. Then they show right now because yes, and that's exactly the reality. And the promoters just need to be honest to themselves. But even if the promoters don't, let the artists be prepared. All of you know fagaro mo gen faju. Fankanta manjawe akanto jangoma labangolong. Mbe nyanta kansale artisol. Get your stuff together. Have enough country ties. One, I mentioned the issue of having a bank account and make sure all your official transactions with regards to your music or your business is done officially. When you go to the studio, pay them with a check. When you are paid, even if you are not paid with check, you are paid with cash. Go ahead and deposit that money in your account. Dugal ko fa immediately gene watko. It's okay. Whatever you need to do with it. When you're paying people for services, pay them with checks. If people can pay you with check, you deposit the check, it's great. If they cannot pay you with check, you write checks for people and institutions. It is going to work in your favor, one. Number two, you need to be able to show that, okay, you have other things such as property. This could be land. Korda nabe bulu korda aku mata je bakle ñew so ñom ST ak ñom jisil ñi nga xamne tay machallah
and also
that works in their favor, right?
Another important thing is sorry to interrupt you, is that our artists, like Gambian artists, need to work with well-established companies. If it's Europe, like a booking agent, or it can
Yes.
be any kind of established agent,
Yes.
whether agency or any kind of company. You have to work with them. For example, if they are well established and they have a strong bank account, you don't even need to provide a bank statement. The company bringing you will be responsible of all this
Yes. Yes. Yes.
financial transaction. So
So the finance,
it is always easy.
but Master, it's important. Even if the promoter bringing you or the institution has all the money and all the paperwork to bring you,
Yes,
it is important that you show you producing a bank statement is
yes.
a part of your
It's a
country
plus.
ties. It's
It's
part
a
of your
plus. Yeah,
country ties to show that,
exactly.
well, you are established. When you go, you have so many things back home that you will be able to return. Aman ite o tuje ite mensa to Gambia ite o tula je yo linga am Gambia. Doko
No,
fa
you
ba
have to
didn't
add
talk
it on.
Europe. Yes, you have to be able to establish that. So having a bank account, a functioning bank account, it's important. Having a family, ye muso soto, ye dingo soto, because it's mostly seen okay, so I'm a family, dula jaral pour nga buy sa family back home to go and stay, I mean, in Europe. So having a family is also another form of country tie, and it's important they pay. Mafo nag telegrek buga nyo America ta guy them say that yeah,
Yeah,
dani kada futu. But alfutu
before
ale
we,
kaito soto.
yeah,
Right,
before we
alfutu
finish,
ale
Yeah.
kaito soto, and you have your yeah. Let me say this, Kalilu. Just it's important. I don't want to forget it. Let them have families if they can, with their kids' birth certificate, marriage certificate. If you are going to the embassy, you need to be able to take along these things. And also, very important is for you to have contracts. A lot of people don't have contracts.
Written contract.
Even it's
Yeah.
a sinole in Gambia, eko Birkama Association ye Magnificent Joe Sambaje. Wala Farafenye Takubantan Diaspora Association is taking Oboe there. Nyancho is taken by the Basse Youth Development Association. Wala, an individual promoter is taking it there. Those people may not have a contract, but you as the artist, develop your own contract template that you are going to have available. Anybody who comes to hire your service, you sign a contract with them. Ye kaitol dealer ya sign. Kafoko, okay, you perform at this place, and this was the agreement. This is how much you charge them. At the end of the day, even these contracts alone can tell you right now, Gambian artists, likely and how much money you made last year. Ask Diesel, ask ST, ask Attack, ask any of them, Jaliba Piate. None of them probably can tell you how much money they made last year or from the beginning of 2021 how much money they made.
Yeah.
Most of them will not be able to tell you, and it's important that they have these contracts because you can easily go back to the contract and just add the numbers. I performed 20 shows last year, 5 of which are my own personal shows, 15 are things that I perform for other people. This is how much money I made from these 20 shows. If it is the shows, this is very important. And finally,
I just
endorsement
want to
deals.
help you here. I just want to help you. You are not saying, Pa Ousman is not saying that Jisul and ST are not doing so. He is just giving an understanding for people to understand that Gambian artists who did not understand that they need to do those kind of establishments for them to go around and do things like that. But you are not speaking in no term that Jisul and ST are not doing so. And before
I'm just using them as example.
Examples, yes.
Yes.
Example.
Ñom ñaari ndo yeb suma APRC lañ legi. They are my opposition. Why it's important them to know, and finally they need to also have endorsement deal. Not they need to have, but I mean endorsement deals is a plus where of course they become brand ambassadors for different institutions and entities. I mean, like some of them with the cell phone companies or mobile companies. Some of them are brand ambassadors for other entities and the like, and that is very important. And also having their foundations, which is very laudable. Some of them now have foundations. Even some of the one park sahlegi established a foundation. We get some charity work. Nyom ST am nañ foundations. There's a good number of them are doing a lot of charity work. Nyom Killer is, and this is very laudable. They need to have those things to show that okay, the foundation is registered and they're doing charity work.
Yeah, Pa, very soon we will close the program, but I just see a very important comment here. But I tend to disagree a little bit with Magnificent Joe. It is not the responsibility of embassies like African embassies in Europe to bring artists for them to have cultural exchange programs. What is happening in the world is that every country is entitled to establish what you call a cultural development fund. So the Gambian artists should advocate to the government of the Gambia and the Ministry of Tourism and Culture to provide what you call a cultural development fund, so that Gambian artists could be able to access that. Even if they are in Europe, they could be able to collaborate with other European artists or even Americans and then make a cultural exchange program. In Europe, you have the Swedish International Development Agency. They are providing the cultural fund. You have the Goethe Institute. They are providing the cultural fund every year. It's a cycle. Anyone can apply anywhere in the world, and you will access these cultural funds, and you can be able to have musical events. You can be able to have theater. You can be able to do anything. So it is not the role of NCAC or a Gambian embassy to be able to organize cultural events. It is our promoters who are registered in Europe to be able to initiate cultural exchange activities and invite the embassies and the government of the Gambia.
Yeah, Kalilu, that is a point though, but I also see sense in what Magnificent Joe is saying. Partly, right? It is not their primary responsibility, that I agree with, but also this is a whole program of its own. If we were to talk about the lapses by the Gambia government and their departments and different institutions, it is also true that the embassies should even have been able to have a cultural department there. Embassies in Gambia have it. Even US embassy has a cultural, department. They should be able to have a cultural department that would have been able to do a lot of networking and be able to facilitate things to connect with colleges, connect with universities, connect with different festivals. Yes, it's not impossible for the Gambian embassies across the world to have been able to facilitate things like this. So if that's what Magnificent Joe is saying, I think I agree with him. Our embassies should have had a department that would have been able to, a cultural department that would have been able to sell the Gambian culture. But Gambian departments, even if you contact them, Kalilu, Manzakundala department all, ika bebe wolla. Ibuka mo danku ibe nyameng kuno sutole nin Dr. Bite Bonan Diamla, Ministry of Health, about the vaccine stuff that we are doing. Outright, it's not even looking good with the Ministry of Health. Niman kodo domo dameng, it will formula jibo manta dameng, jamabe je, ibuka sawara kunto. They worry about the wrong things until Gambian, whether Manzakunda Leng, whether Artisol Leng, or anybody. We are always worried about the wrong things for the most part, and it's rather unfortunate. But our embassies here, I think, should be able to have a cultural department that will be able to advocate, and they can be here in the US. The Gambian embassy will be glad to work with them because we have the experience, we have the connection, and we are working with universities, colleges, and different institutions.
I think what Magnificent is saying, for example, NCAC could do like there are a lot of government association organization all around Europe and America, for example. They should be able to contact all of them. For example, in Helsinki, in Norway, in Sweden, you go to America and so when they have this kind of collaboration with them, so they should be able to bring artists from Gambia to all these government events that like Helsinki Weeks or Norway or Sweden or America. So in this, they are able to bring a lot of government artists from Gambia to all these government events happening all over Europe and America. So that's one good point.
What the Gambia government can do, I'm offering you to volunteer to have another show to talk about what Gambia government can do to empower the performing arts industry. It doesn't have to be today, but book me for another time. I will be glad to say, because I personally here, Gambian Talents Promotion is registered in the United States, and we are doing a lot of things here. The artists and people don't know this. They probably, because of how they look at us as media and stuff, this coming weekend, let them go ahead and search the Nubian Jam Festival. I will be there, not this weekend, next weekend. Nubian Jam Festival is a big festival. We are going to be there to represent Gambia, to put the image of the Gambia on the map at the Nubian Jam Festival on the 31st. It's happening. African Americans, Jamaicans, people of color, white people, so many people. We are talking about thousands of people are going to be at the Nubian Jam. We are working on different things. Kalilu, you already know that we are working on the Sounds of Africa Festival. And the artists are going to be, we wish to invite Gambian artists. If it wasn't for the corona, that would have happened this year. But the COVID-19 made it impossible. These are different things that we are working on over here, and it's important. Now, one thing I want to say to the Gambian artists, before your show is finished, that I think is important. and to the promoters, Gambian promoters around the world, so to Europe and America, made it a habit for the most part. Artists or Sambanang bring Gambian artists and do visa scam. I am warning the promoters to stop it, and the artists as well. And what I mean by visa scam is you tell an artist, I want to bring you to Europe or America. You go make an arrangement with Nyancho, and you tell Nyancho, we all know Nyancho is Mom Kenala. Nyancho dafa am ban, ay ban ole soto, 15-man ban. You go and you tell Nyancho, I'll bring you, or you bring Nyancho and his promoter alone, and the rest, Ika Fueko, I will bring 15 people. You go and sell the visas. Learn the dairy net.
So,
no, I'm listening.
Let me finish the story. Banja don't learn that. Banja said the lion is guilty of that.
No, I'm listening.
Kalilu,
I'm listening.
Yama invite. Name touch cast. Yama invite, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to read some of the text.
But I just have to be honest here. I want to thank both of you.
Kalilu, I haven't finished what I am explaining.
I'm not yet finished. I just want to say I am grateful that you extensively touched the topic like I wanted. But we will have the Gambia government. People want the Gambia government, so we will try to bring Sek Omar, and then we create that kind of dialogue with him. What are they expecting to do? I know for a fact that NCAC is having collaboration with different countries with regards to their cultural activities, and they are taking Gambian musicians. But again, I don't have too much. I don't have too much experience in that because cultural groups are the ones that are going. So we can probe into that. We can probe into that to know exactly how they are doing it, and then we can also suggestions to them. So
yes,
so let me finish my thing here. Those promoters that are selling these visas, it is wrong. And if any Gambian artist is contacted by any promoter to say that I want to take you to Europe or America, you are one artist, or you and your manager or 3 people will come, and I will sell 5 or 10 visas. You them charge 100,000, 200,000, 300,000. I have never done it. I've never done it. And I know promoters who do it. I know promoters who do it. There are several Gambian promoters who do this, who have been doing it, and that's how they make money. To take artists to Europe, take them to America, take them to UK. Stop it. Because Jamano Bidafa Doch, and those people that you are bringing here, the button can turn around. Our people used to get away with so many things back in the days. Not anymore. Europe and America are wise now. You want to come to Europe, you want to come to America, come through the right channel.
The right
Selling
way.
those visas, could be very wrong, and you can be in trouble. Your artist visa career munna say yahu. The first people you go publish. If I know anybody who gets into it, I will be the first media house that will publish it. We will be the first that will publish it.
Thank you so much, Paos. And I know I had a problem with all of the way trying to.
No, that part is very important, of course, because like I said, embassies are also doing research. They make a close research about every artist or band. For example, if you have your 8-man band and you claim to have 10-man or 15-man band, they are doing their research. So one day or the other, they will come to realize, and that can be a problem.
Exactly.
Well, you go to the embassy and you say that Master Lion is the guitarist of the band. Master doesn't know anything about music chords or whatsoever. Iko Kalilu and Dramati, Atleka Tantangol Kosi. Iko Fabs Koli is the flute player. Iko
nowadays I can tell you from experience. Sorry to interrupt you. Because I am a kudol bijay. Also, chokos ni nakon. Embassy nimbano altara interview la. Eka momo nyininkala separately.
Yes.
So they didn't nyininkala niyata nung kay mantara band member kono. Community na ita be deal side le. Yeta adjel as a deal. So they nyininkala question dola. Nima answer no then aka problem will start.
Some of them can even wear asubi. Iseje na nyimba isifa san yake asubiti ya work sota yake asubiti. Be ko kata visa nyini ngola. Ya mira embassy mu hatol te be fair la. So
Anyway, Pa, we just talk about that the establishment as Jaliba Kuyate. No wonder he is never rejected with visa with regards to traveling to Europe or somewhere, because even the embassies, they know him. He is visible to them. Is easy because of our tradition, like Gambia as a musical, as a country, as a cultural country. A lot of people know Jaliba Kuyate. Even the embassies, they know him very well. So it's easy for people like Jaliba to do that. But like an artist who doesn't even have an album to his name, want to travel with a band, a five band, or you don't even, you are not a recording artist, and you expect to be given like 6 visa for you to travel.
It's never easy.
You've never performed in a crowd like even 10,000 in Europe before. That can prove that you are a working artist, and you expect to have like a 6-month visa to travel to Europe.
But Kalilu, in fact, part of Yemen for at the beginning, you asked about artists performing at a club for 150 people or 100 people. Well, now, musicians, to tell you the truth, contemporary Gambian musicians, you only deserve. And ask me why I said that's what they deserve. Because of the type of music that they are doing. They are doing those club music to perform for those clubs. They don't do live band. If we are talking about performing at a festival, for the most part, those festivals want something creative and a live band that will come and entertain people. I would rather bring Mariama Chamin, Jali, Mauro, Suso for them to just come and perform with the kora and the leket, and they just sing the natural voice, than bring an artist that would come and do playback for me at a dama with a lot of auto-tune on their songs and the like. What they are doing is good for the club. So any promoter that's bringing them is only going to be able to take them to a club to perform there. I cannot take you to a 3,000, 5,000, 20,000 crowd. Iko perform for them with playback. This is very important. So let them start learning instruments or having a band or be doing live band. A good number of them used to do it, but with time they all gone back to doing playback. Estinol, Gizulnol, all of them.
So, Pa, if I urge you, you are here. Master Lion is here. Faxcoli is here. Why not? The Gambian promoters who are genuine. I'm talking genuine promoters. Who are not playing hanky-panky. We used to call it in school days, hanky-panky game. To form a kind of a network that is going to be strongly built on booking as a booking agent, and you centralize it in a way whereby this coordination can be done. There can be a coordinated mechanism put in place with regards to bringing professional Gambian musicians in and out and trying to lobby for them professional concerts.
Carl, Diamlal Siada coming a minfo. Allow me to say in Mandinka. Diamlal Siada, but Dokulal Mansia. Yeah, personally, me, Master Line, I tried many times in Europe because we know each other. All the promoters in Europe, we know each other, especially Gambian promoters. I spoke to so many promoters, like, for example, if I'm bringing an artist from Gambia, all these Gambian promoters in different parts of Europe are willing to come on board, book even a one show. It's going to be a big tour. Because imagine a promoter in Germany, like 3 or 4. That's a 4 show. In Italy, you know, you go to Spain, you go to Sweden, you go to Norway. So if everyone is willing to come on board, the Gambian artists will have more than 15, 20 shows. Only Gambian promoters. But now, if I'm bringing an artist and they don't want to support, even to book a show is always difficult. So it cannot work.
Yeah, if these artists are coming, they think it will mirror. For the most part, though, I'm not even, the promoters and stuff are very good, Kalilu, as you've said. But as Masta said, I agree with him, Diamlal Siata, with very little, impact or action. But the Gambian artists, what most of them think, how big they think they are. You want to bring them to Europe or America, they want to charge you if one is doing a festival. Maybe, for example, it's understandable. But you are not even performing at festival. You don't have festival performance, but you want to charge $3,000, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000. When you are going to perform at a club where you are only expected to have 150, 200 people, now Siata. How much is this promoter going to charge? ayetela ticket or topoto and everything else, your logistics,
Exactly.
everything that is involved. You take care of their
Transport.
ticket, their transportation, their lodging, their accommodation. This is different from the
Yes.
show you are putting together when it comes to getting the venue, when it comes to getting a bag line if you are doing a live band, talking about the sound system or whatsoever. You're talking about doing
Yeah.
promotion and all other logistics that are involved for doing this show. So you're talking about $10,000 investment and
Very important point.
$10,000 investment.
Allow me to interrupt you because I have to say I have been blamed about this many times. Carl, I know today from the time won't about it, but because this point needs to be clear. Me here sitting master line, I was blamed many times, like Gambian artists trying to bring them in Helsinki. When they put their price and I discuss, I cannot afford. It doesn't mean I put you down. But in the business part of it, how many people you can put in Helsinki is going to be even less than 200 people.
Yes.
And now you are asking a big amount of money. And then so many of them said, Mastercard artists don't let you more than 12. But now, if you go into the business part of it, you check some, for example, Jamaican artists that can pull like 1,000 people, and you can pull even less than 200 people. So you don't even expect the same figure in terms of paying this artist and you take. It doesn't mean go I put you down, but if you check in the business part of it, you cannot pull out 200 in Helsinki. So this is
So they
also
don't,
something that they need to understand.
they
They need to
don't get it.
understand it.
Pulling
The
power.
type of crowd, yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
the
It all
crowd pulling power
they
is very
measured.
It's
important.
very important.
So Kalilu, they measure themselves with what they have in Gambia, and I keep saying it. In a Gambian
Yeah.
crowd, if it was in Europe or America, they will not pull it because most of those people going to their shows are minors. They shouldn't be there. In fact, Gambia le man loi soto don Gambia mo amut loi motax gaay yoy ndo yoy yeb di fesal stadium yi. Ninga nyim foy ko hater tenin teng. It's not hater. If you have a 12, 13, 14, 15-year old, anybody that's less than 17, 18, they're going to a show where you are causing ibe bamal falaje, ibe F word, use la S word, B words, ibe bamal falaje, and all of these things, even in front of dignitaries. This is what they do on their shows. I watched a show not long ago, thank Borokeko, wala nanga sula ba mujar fugara si usoi wan pag bupase ni Boroke da fatahaw yaay wan pag ngi tok maire yu bari mune biri kay ko ala bagwe dankilo whatever the name of the song is ako biringa sula ba mujar sula ba nangam ay ba ma ba tindije maire be sirinje ibe nendirol fola sula kangoto iba fola mande kangoto. I will not bring any artist that will come here and be cussing, and this is important point, Kalilu. I will not bring any artist to the US to have a cultural performance, a family-friendly environment where you have like the Nubian Jam Festival, the Sounds of Africa Festival, or any other festival that's happening here, and you come there, there are kids and you are cussing, there are parents and adults and you are cussing using the F word, the B word, the S word. Wala hani benna su ba ndrol le fola. Suru akango to manne akango to jola akango maja akango. Anybody who has insults and curse words in their songs has no place for these big events. You can go perform at the club. That's what you deserve. So Ninko a comment to go into the club to perform for 100 people, 150 people. That's what they deserve because in a Dankilo Jamabeje, go to ST songs, go to Jizzle songs, go to Attack song. Can you mail before? If you were to talk about taking Gambian artists to the diaspora sign, we are not talking about the cultural performance, contemporary musicians. Niman Nyul Sambanang, there will be a lot of backlash on your behind by different people who are fans and followers of the music industry who will think you are not fair. Why you bringing this person, that person? Munana Iman Jizu Sambanang, Imang Attack Sambanang, Imang Nyancho Sambanang, Imang all these ndokel. Ika fuso ning bol ning sumunal ning bama balle tindi la dankirol kono. In whatever language they do it. Let them change their music.
Ousman Joof, thank you so much. You know, it's always a heated debate when I have someone like you. And I told you earlier on that it is important to have only you on my program. And then I can have freedom to let you flow the way you want to flow. And I think a lot of people are with you with regards to all the things that you are saying here. We want to thank you so much for the great work that you have been doing over the years. And then you've been just you, and then you've been realistic. And then I can say to the world that even the establishment that you were doing, there were a lot of reviews that you did with different people until you get where you are. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you discriminate or you distance yourself from the reality. You always try to get the right things, and I appreciate that. And the same goes to my brother here. This is the third time I'm inviting him, and there is a reason, because his statements are always factual, and then dealing with him is based on something realistic. And tonight, the audience, the viewers of Gambia Talents TV could be able to authenticate that. They could be able to say that all the things that you are saying, they are on your fingertips. You understand them to the latter. And that is the very reason I brought you two guys on this very great topic, performance visa process for creative personnel in the Gambia. It has been a hot topic over the months, and people are moved about it. Nobody wants to talk about it. And even the people who are victims don't even want to face us to talk about it, to learn from it, and then so that we can move on. I just want you to say your last words, because I can only provide you 2 hours, minutes for today. So your last words, and we close the program. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Lion, your last words.
Firstly, I would like to thank you, Carl, for inviting me in this program, putting me and Ousman in the same platform, because he's my boss. And then I would like to thank all the viewers, me Alonko, they take their time to follow this. I would like to send an advice to all the artists and their management to continue working hard, and they have to make sure they work professionally. That means to provide your artists with artist page, press kits, and all the relevant information in social media. And like Pa said, they have their own website, because these are things that you are marketing yourself to the world. Not only government promoters, but any other promoter can get information and might need your service. And then let's stop this blaming game. It doesn't help none of us, because, for example, I take example of myself here. I brought a lot of government artists in Helsinki. I did it because I want to promote them. I don't do it because I want to get money. In fact, all the shows with government artists is always lost. But somebody have to do it. So that's the responsibility. I always want to make sure I bring government artists to make people here know that government artists also, they have talents and they can do it. So every artist that has been in Helsinki, let them ask them how Masterline work in Helsinki. So what be the more talala about it, because artist Jamal Nara Jamianko Gambe no long. So it performed a jang. Kabri Nara, near Mudanya Dile. You understand? Ni Atara coming Manamol Mbike support. It all they are in the good position to clear that out to the people. You understand? And then they need to know the people to work with promoters. I'm not saying that they are not good promoters, but you have to make your research. Work with promoters that are established. Work with people in other part of the world which are established, that can bring something relevant, something good for your own career as an artist. Because this is very important. Coming for Jamlal Siara. That is real Dokulal Mansia.
Real Dokulal by Fal. Yeah. Thank you so much, Master Lion. And Pa, my brother is just telling me that Magnificent Joe Coker, that Carl, don't forget Pa is a St. Augustine student, and he was the most outstanding in era 2000. All he says are substantial facts. You know, brother, Pa was managing Singate. So when you normally come to Latrikunda, so I know Pa very well. So Joe, he was managing you before, so you came and then you run. So he is talking about that. Anyway, Pa, your last words.
Thank you very much, Kalilu. You know, with our people, until Kalafile drum member Nyabula. ku ñoo bos di ñu raay di ñu wax yaa fi toj people who fake us, those are the ones that we think like us, even if they're lying to us. We can do anything that those people are doing. And the reason why we are not very popular is this. Gambian artists make it very hard for us because of our stance and our position. And this is what media is supposed to be. You are supposed to educate people, inform, educate, and entertain people. Put the facts out in front of the people and not lie to them. And we will continue to be like this. Even when they organize their shows, they make it very hard for my team to cover it. When it comes to interviews, they will always give us different excuses, but you see them in different platforms, just like we said about Bright Stars earlier. All of them, for the most part, Gizul, ST, all of them, they would not. Yesterday was Road to Ndevenal, was Tobaski a couple of days ago. We have this big program called Road to Ndevenal. When we started it, they are the ones we used to visit the most. And let me just use this opportunity, Kalilu, to say this. A lot of people will say, are you Gambian Talents Promotion and the like? A lot of things have changed with us partly because of the realities that we find ourselves in, such as what is happening right now. We do Road to Ndevenal. The first years, we visited a good number of the artists. We have a show called Celeb Crip, where Mariama Sisa House should be going to their different houses from morning to night to document how they live, life outside of the music. They are not interested. They are not worried about these things unless you invite them to the studio and talk to them about the album and the things that they do, or they have a press conference and invite us. This is all. Ni Jakarta drone kanan telkang. Only ni Jakarta. Otherwise, they are running away from us. And this is not what it's supposed to be. Number two, Gambian Talents is an established institution. I want to let them know. Here in the US, we are registered with the Secretary of State's office. We are registered with the local authorities, the city that we are operating in. We are registered with the Internal Revenue Service. We have our EIN number with them, the IRS. We also have a 501c3 status as a non-profit here in the United States to operate. We have our DONS number. They can go ahead and look this up. DONS number is like a TIN number in Gambia for the business. Our business, Gambian Talents Promotion, has a DONS number with here. We are registered with the System Award Management, which is, of course, the federal bureau that investigates and vets organization. And this is an annual registration that has to happen 2 months ago. And you have to have so many different things before you pass this level. We are registered. We are registered with this with SAM, and we also registered with the non-profits, Washington non-profits, and several other supporting institutions.
And you you domesticated it also in the Gambia.
Yes, in Gambia, exactly. All of these registrations I mentioned earlier, from GPPA to KMC to the Ministry of Justice, all of those in Gambia. We have all the registrations in Gambia that is needed. So we are operating legally in both of these countries, and we have a lot of things in place for Gambians and Africans. And Ninnamol make it harder. Right now, we have extended what we are doing. It's officially now called the Washington West African Center, and there's a Facebook page called Washington West African Center. There's a website called wawag.org, www.wawac.org. Let them go there and see the services we are offering. I
have to say something.
We are working very established with the Department of Health, with the Snohomish County, with the city of Linwood, with the city of Everett, and several other institutions, Washington Nonprofit, Building Changes, Snohomish County, Philanthropy Northwest. There are University of Washington Bottle, UDAP, other different organizations, Snow Isle Library. We are working with several partners. When we established Gambian Talents, finally, back in the days when I was promoting Singate Frikijo, our purpose was to promote Gambian talents and culture to the diaspora, because there was nothing like social media. Only our website is what we had. For social media, we became an online blog. We added the online radio, then the online TV, and now it is a full-fledged organization, established offices in Mindula Fulol Beto. It's not a child's play. Sign, we have achieved that goal, Kalilu, because Gambians around the world are usually seeing what is happening in and around the Gambia in real time. Nimbanna Salome Botaje, Everything that happened with the prayers, we saw it. My team was there at King Fahad Mosque, President Baroning Salol Ketanyaming. We were at Birkama Mosque. We were at Pipeline Mosque. We were at different places. At Isolbe, Gambia, we are covering it live. Here you are having a live interview with me and Master Lion. So we are no longer missing this. So we have conquered that goal of supporting the Gambian or promoting Gambian talents and culture to the diaspora, to the Gambian public. Now, what are we doing? We are promoting Gambian and West African culture to the Sikotengol, to Babul, Negarol, African Americanol, Jamaicanol, Mexicanol, and all other people. Now that is where we are going it, and that is why you and I work very closely to produce the Sounds of Africa festivals and other projects. Ni Gambian artists all serious star, and they establish themselves and put themselves together. Any of them who meet the criteria that we have, if they see they see us go and bring an underground artist, more men long. Mo basi wuri, and I'm being on record here. Isafo muna nema nyin sambanang imankari samanang. We are no longer bringing artists to take you to a club where you perform for 100 people, 150 people, or to Gambian community. We are taking you to perform at real festivals, universities, and colleges.
Thank you. Exactly. Yes.
I can imagine.
Yeah, you know,
in 30 seconds, I just want
Carl, I'm really happy to put me on par because he's my boss. So he said everything. One thing I have to add here, like he said, Master Promotion also is officially registered in Gambia in any form, because this make you well established, whether in Gambia or outside Gambia. That is very important. Secondly, me as a Gambian working in Finland as an international promoter, so I'm not working only for Gambian artists, but people who knows my service are always sending their requests. More me along come caring and they need my service, well, they are always contacting. So if any government artists want to work with Masterland Promotion, the door is open. If you want, we can work. I am doing. I have lots of annual events in Helsinki. Festivals. I have lots of different type of festivals in this country. I work as a booking agent for many other artists, Jamaican and any other. So why our government artists are not willing to work with Master Lion? This is not about it. It's not a compulsory. So do work it. Other artists they know what I can do and they are willing to work with me. I'm available. So then later on they will start to blame me for I don't want to work with government artists. How can I work with you if you don't want to? You don't even need my service. So I'm available.
So, Master, I just want to say, my brother is.
And then allow me, sorry, Carl. One of the artists or the band in those visa thing being filter in America, they are in Master Promotion list coming for a European tour. I will not disclose it here, but to let you know, artists will be me Alanko, Master and those artists we already have an agreement. And all the official papers are available and not like Nko. So when I saw that post, I was kind of shocked because I already have something with them.
Anyway, we will not disclose that, but I think very well that
it's gonna happen.
We are planning to do. Like Pa is saying, you have a song festival that is taking place in Helsinki every year. And because of COVID,
festival.
You block it a little bit. So you want
annual. I have street reggae festival in Helsinki. I have Fest in Finland here. I organize a Gambian Week for the Government Association in here. So those are events, but Government Week is on the Government Association. But my own Fest, Street Reggae Festival, Reggae Jam Festival in Helsinki, these are all on the Master Lion Promotion.
Okay, Master Lion, there is somebody I know who is now very much involved in the politics of Finland, and he's a Gambia. So Simon Banja. I think you people are collaborating because he's working with the politicians, and I think he's a representative councillor, like
Simon Banja
of KMC.
Simon Banja, right?
Yeah, Simon Banja. Yeah,
I know him very well.
I know.
Simon and Masterline, we are in Gambia, in Brikama, Della Cordalbe opposite. So we know each other very well.
So no wonder. Okay, then you are well established in football.
Yeah.
Master, thank you so much. Pa,
Thanks.
the sounds of West Africa or the sounds of the Gambia, Smiling Coast. We hope to be with you in the United States of America sometime
Indeed.
very soon. If I cannot go, Master Lion will represent me. But anyway,
Yeah.
I am exceedingly glad to have you two important guests on this platform. It's always a joy to be joined by
Thanks.
people like you. I want to thank you so much. I also want to thank all the viewers, like the promoters, the band leader, Uncle Sankun Jobate, the artists, my brother, Magnificent Joe, and some of my friends all over Europe. They are all sending messages. I want to thank all of them. And I want to thank you all for a great interview tonight. Until you come our way, this is the Gambia
Thank
Talent
you.
live with the ShowBiz in Focus. Every Saturday
Yeah.
we have it here. You can join us. So thank you so much. Until we come
Thank
your
you.
way, I want to say good night to all of you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.